All right, and we are rolling. So, hey everyone, welcome back to the...
It was just going everywhere.
You get disadvantage your next roll. Hey everyone, welcome back to our next episode of The Song of the Wilds. Yeesh. We have now officially started episode 12. I still can't believe that we were able to make it last to double digits. And we are now officially being hosted by Josh Dahumond.
Yeah, Josh.
Thanks a lot, Josh.
Because he's playing his own D&D campaign right now.
Ah, nice. All right, so this is episode 12 right now, and this is going to be a pretty... Sheila's watching us. Sheila, hi.
So much.
We haven't spoken in so long. I love you.
Oh my god. I missed you so much.
All right. Hopefully you can stick around. This is going to be a pretty intense session here.
I'm very excited, but I'm so fucking nervous as shit. So let's go.
All right.
Hey, Bill, I know we don't really talk anymore. Good to see you.
Oh.
All right. So we finally made it to episode 12. Still can't believe we were able to make it this far. It looks like we are still short one person. We are still missing a Yip. Yip. We still have time to do like announcements and such. Give me just a moment.
Tell everybody what's on the 15th.
Something's on the 15th.
Yeah.
What's on the 15th?
It's
What?
a cute thing. And what's on the 15th?
What is on the 15th, Carly?
Fine, you want me to... It's our 6-year anniversary.
Yeah, Carly and I have somehow not...
The last of you keep up that attitude.
Whoa! We just got 100 bits from an anonymous cheerer.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, anonymous cheerer. You're awesome. Anywho, so yeah, somehow Carly and I have not murdered each other in 6 years.
That's because you guys are stuck in quarantine together.
Has it really been 6 years for you two?
Yeah, we started dating in the middle of 2014.
Oh my god. Wow, that's insane.
And we have a Yip!
And we have a Yip.
Hi. Hi, class.
Oh,
Finally.
Love it.
You do-
All right.
you doing okay, dude?
Yeah, I just.
Oh, we got a subscriber!
What's going on in the chat?
We got a subscriber!
Things.
Oh, God. So many people.
An anonymous cheerer just subscribed to EB Streamer, and they subscribed to Carly Pearl 4. They subscribed to Damoosins, and they subscribed to the Hemmington. Wow!
It sounds like you just...
And the Hemmington just subscribed.
Wow.
Oh my! Oh yeah, everyone's excited for this session.
Yes, I am excited to sneak into the building.
Okay. Hear me out.
No.
Okay, guys, we gotta. Oh, and Elizabeth is watching.
And what Davina's like, Carly, take it back.
My friend Liz is watching.
God, son, things happen.
And she says in all caps, no TPKs, please.
You know what's good about the recaps of each episode? I can remember what happened last week.
Well, that's why I also post all of the previous episodes on my YouTube. So if anyone want to watch them, we're gonna.
Don't you
I live
study
that.
every single
I don't need to
second
watch it
that
again.
happened from the previous session? Don't you study like everything?
Carly does.
I didn't say I just subscribed to you.
No, someone subscribed to you
Yeah.
Why?
because
An
you.
anonymous gifter gave Carly Pearl 14 a tier 1 sub.
Yeah, they're watching because of you.
Shucks, guys.
So anyway, before we get started, let's just get our announcements out of the way. One little minor announcement for myself. As you know, I am a huge Critical Role fan, and it was because of Critical Role that I decided to become a DM for my own session, and that's where I have the pleasure of telling a story with all these lovely people here. I've calculated this. After a little over a year, I have finally finished watching the Vox Machina campaign, and as of today, I finally started watching the Mighty Nine.
Oh my god.
I finally feel like I'm part of the big boys club. Beyond that, not much else is going on. This week, Carly and I will be having our... Oh, and Liz is yelling at me in all caps, what about Acquisitions Incorporated? They are on my list as well. Another little announcement. Carly and I this week will be celebrating our 6-year anniversary of being in a relationship.
Ew.
Yeah, cooties just everywhere.
6 years.
Yeah, the cooties have aged like milk after 6 years. Like, ew.
Oh, no. Don't make that analogy.
Ugh.
And Sheila goes, yay! All right, so that's pretty much all from me. Does anyone else have any other little announcements? Yes, Eden.
I have 2. So I got a haircut. That's about it. Yay, finally. Got it in and a half. And then
Look what Eden got me.
got some stuff.
Squirrels!
Did you get that?
I got it. Izzy's Redbubble. Please go.
That's a nice little segue. Izzy, why don't you tell us about your Redbubble?
Hey, so you can check out my Redbubble at izzycosplay.redbubble.com. Spelled exactly how it sounds. And if you purchase anything from the Songs of the Wild campaign,
You're a nerd.
You're a nerd, but you also donate money to charity with every purchase. So if you like to give money to people while also receiving things for a good cause, go do it.
All right.
But the notebooks have tiny squirrels with capes on.
Tiny little squirrels with capes. I love how we're the type of people who take, like, what seems like just a gag that is mentioned once, but we just ascend it into something, like, everlasting.
Oh, I loved it so much. I literally went, I'm making stickers.
By the way.
Does anyone else have any other little announcements before we get started?
Well, I posted... Oh,
Go for it, girl.
okay. I posted my first set of my Avatar series on my Patreon. So if you want to go and join my Patreon as well, I got Avatar this month. And that's just patreon.com/IzzyCosplay.
Hey guys, before we get started, could all of you just check your volume levels for me? Because we just got a message from Sheila saying that a lot of us are coming in pretty quiet.
I'm at max right now.
Is everyone at max, like, max microphone sensitivity or something? Is that even a thing for most of you?
I'm at maximum overdrive.
Is that a little better for me?
How do
Evan,
I check that?
I honestly don't know.
Found it.
You go to voice and video in your settings.
And just turn it all the way up. And Sheila, just to give you a bit of a heads up, only some of us have actual microphones. A couple of us are, like, chatting with each other through, like, the mobile app of Discord. So it is gonna...
Is that better?
Well, for me, it sounds the exact same.
See, the thing is, I can hear you all clearly, so...
Yeah. Hang on, let me go get my...
Sheila does say cool, so either it looks like it's gonna be as good as it's gonna get right now.
Okay.
Are there any other little announcements before we get started? Yes, Carly.
I'm
There
gonna
you go.
officially be starting my Davina cosplay very soon.
Ooh.
Campaign. So, if you want to see progress in that, you can follow me at Curly Pearl Cosplay on the Instagram or on the TikTok.
TikTok. God damn it, Carly.
Yip, class, you had a announcement.
Yes. I finally was like, you know what? I play a lot of games. What if I made a Twitch? So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
probably gonna start streaming eventually, probably on Classical Acts on Twitch.
Nice.
Twitch.tv/Classical Act.
All right, we will definitely try to catch that. Any other little announcements from anyone?
I kinda.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Well, I can't give an ETA on when it's going to be done, but I have stayed in contact with my artist, so my webcomic is still underway. It's still going. So.
I'm excited about that.
All right. Anything else?
Side note, can we hear me better? Because I have the microphone plugged in.
You're coming in amazingly now.
You're coming in very clear, Kira.
Woohoo!
You got the same mic as me.
Yes, I got the blue one though.
All right. Well, if that is going to be all here, then let us continue with chapter 12 of the Song of the Wilds. Can you all hear the music? Where we last left off our group of hunter warriors, they had finally come across one of the little Aasimar slave children back in the base of the Greyblades. This small child was actually able to let them know that there was a third sibling in her group who is currently being held as a maidservant for the Balmaris family, who, as we both know, is a very highly prestigious family of elves that actually our fair Davina used to be married into that family until some stuff went down. So technically still married. That did not get annulled. So, with a fire in their heart and doing this one task pro bono, technically, they all decided to venture onto their airship and make their way to the winter villa of the Balmarises. During this trip, during the night, our fair Eden had a nightmare of a skulking, shadowy creature in a void who seems to be looking for him, or something, or anything for that matter. We don't know what is going on there, but the very next day, they were able to locate the winter villa nestled in a valley between the mountains, where their airship was suddenly shot down by a lightning bolt and they crashed in the snow. Our fair team, leaving the ruined airship, made their way to the highly guarded winter villa of the Balmarises. And that is where we begin our session. If you'll excuse me, let me try to get that music going.
Wait a minute. What about the weird ass bomb thing that went off and destroyed the ship?
I literally just talked about that. It was a lightning bolt. That was literally 10 seconds ago.
She was disrupted by my performance.
I kind of was going out too. I was mainly just watching Izzy.
You said old Joe was over here, right?
So right now, you guys have already left the airship where it's basically all nestled in the snow, and you are now basically up against the wall of the Balmaris villa, which from where you're standing, you can see through the fence. It's not like a solid wall. It is, we're talking Buckingham Palace levels of huge, and it's in the center of this massive circular hedge garden of flowers and bushes. They're somehow able to basically keep this place looking like it's springtime, even though it's in the middle of a snowy valley in this mountain range. You do see a gate, but of course it's closed right now. You haven't really seen much activity on the other side of the fence. What do you guys do?
So, guys, we're gonna be all sneaky, right?
Well, that is my expertise. So if we're doing stealth,
That is my fake expertise.
That's not mine.
I mean,
I think that's also Arios's too, considering the fact that you tried to steal the orb the first time that we met you.
Friggin'
Yeah, sorry about that.
So what are you guys gonna do?
I can't hear you, Helen.
Well, first I'm going to take off my chainmail and my cast-off armor, spiked armor, so I'm no longer at a disadvantage for my stealth.
Nice.
Can I peek
Yep,
in?
when he sees this, just kind of like, oh, okay, you're stripping.
Yeah, I'm
In the
taking
color.
like armor too.
Okay, if you're gonna be doing that, Polo, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That was not the D20, it doesn't count.
Let's go. What were you saying?
Hold on.
No, wait.
Okay.
Okay, and I get one less for Constitution. So I got a 0.
Okay.
God.
Your plan to take off your armor, while smart allowing you to sneak, you do take just 1 point of cold damage.
Oh, okay.
You are all in a snowy field, and it is actively snowing right now. Yet the snow doesn't seem to fall on the garden itself.
I think I can handle a little cold if it means getting this job done.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do the
Cold
exact same
never
thing.
bothered me anyway.
Okay, so Eden is going to do the exact same thing. I would like you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. D20, like always. What was that?
I got 7.
Okay, so you also were slightly unprepared for how chilly it is right now. You also take just 1 point of cold damage.
Hey.
But the good news is once you start moving, once you get your blood pumping, that's good. Then you're gonna be good. However, before you guys are able to enact your plan, you hear on the other side of the wall, I saw it fall that way. Everyone, saddle up. And you can see through the fence a whole squadron of guards getting their swords and their crossbows ready. And they're all starting to mount up on horses. And that's when the gate slowly starts to open. What do you guys do?
Mother was a half
Can I
Hide.
cast animal friendship to make them go the wrong way?
100%.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can definitely attempt animal friendship, but here's the thing. Animal friendship requires a material component of food to actually feed the animals. So you are going to have to not be sneaky and risk exposure to do that.
Can I what if I just throw food out in front to see if like a carrot? Let me see. Let me see what I have with me.
Got rations. One of those?
Yeah,
Yes, I do have rations. Can I pretend that I have
We also have
carrots
weed.
in my ration?
You know what? For the sake of this, I will allow it. However, like I said, if you do decide to throw that food, those guys are just gonna get off their horses and attack you.
Can Arios actually do cast fog cloud to cover us?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Arios, you wave your hands and oh, yes.
Sorry, while Arios is doing that, can I use my stealth to try to sneak in through the gate?
The open gate, yes. Roll me a stealth check with advantage because right now you all are covered in a small cloud of fog.
I was gonna ask that as well. Can I try to sneak through too? With
Yeah.
Polo?
Yes, you do that, and you also get advantage because you're in the small fog cloud.
I get +3. That's an 18.
All right, you definitely sneak in.
Wait, okay. I just want to mention 22 on my second roll.
All right, that's even better. You are... All right, somehow you are able to move silently because you are all in a fog cloud, and the sound of the snow cushions the sound of your footsteps. Yes, Yip.
I got a 6.
Wait. Can I say what I got?
What is it?
Got a dirty 20. You can't even see me.
Okay, well, Polo got a 22.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 26.
Okay, so Yip. While Polo and pretty much the others are able to sneak in silently, Yip, you actually trip on a hidden root underneath the snow, and you just fall right in the snow itself.
And I just look over at everyone and I'm like, why can the bird who can fly has the hardest time sneaking around of all of us?
Word.
By the way, Yip, you are right now controlling the urge to fly south.
That's why I fell. That's why
Like, as you are walking through the snow, your body just kind of instinctively just kind of veers south for a moment. Someone has to grab you like, no.
No, I'm wondering, can I help him?
You can help him up. However, right now, both you and... Alright, so at this time, both Yip and Davina, I want you both to roll me a second set of stealth checks. Because right now, at this time, one of those guards in that squadron heard something fall in the snow. And he's right now looking close to your direction, but he doesn't seem to see you just yet. Because remember, you guys are still in a fog cloud.
Can I?
I would like to say this is officially in dice jail. I got a 1 and a 2. That's why I rolled.
Put that in jail. Put that in jail right now.
Dice jail.
I have an idea.
It's me.
Yes.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
The smugness.
I got stealth 14.
All right. All right, awesome. So you both are able to just stay very still because apparently Balmaris guards' vision is based on movement. Oh yeah, did I tell you these guys are lizard folk? No, they're humans. And a few, mostly elves, a couple humans. That one guard who's just looking your direction, just kind of... And then he just turns around and rejoins his squad, and they just start heading over to the crash site. The entrance is now unguarded, and you guys make your way through the entrance. The moment you cross that threshold, the air instantly turns from, like, chilly to a very comfortable 75 degrees.
I no longer feel like I must go to the south.
Yeah, Yip, that your compulsion to go south has completely vanished. You feel calm. You feel centered.
I am at home.
You are at home. And right now before
I am at peace.
And right now before you is this very lush, beautiful, almost royally kept... Yeah, well, thank you. You see before you just this wonderful looking garden, and it's just so nice. There's fountains, there's little cherub statues squirting water. You see a couple gardeners, like trimming hedges and such. A couple of them actually see you, but the moment they see you, they quickly kind of turn away, almost very afraid, and they just keep doing their work.
I wonder why.
All right. What do you guys do?
Oh, I get it. Okay. I think in this case, I'm going to let Davina take the lead.
Well, we're looking for, oh god, what the fuck is her name? Hold on, I wrote it in my notes.
Balmaris?
Illustaria, the Asimar slave girl.
Oh, okay.
We're looking
Yeah, originally this mission is a search and rescue, not an assassination.
That's how all missions start.
But I mean, if we end up assassinating a certain someone, I mean, is it really like
Who's going to miss him, honestly?
His
Who's gonna stop us? The Grey
His
Blades?
wife?
Or the Grey Blades?
His wife isn't going to miss him. We know that for certain.
We're looking for Illustaria. She might be in the servant quarters, which is on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
All right, you guys slowly make your way through the garden. It honestly does look like all of the guards that should be patrolling around here have all just completely deserted the area, all just part of that search party going to the crash site. A couple minutes...
like they're that dumb.
They all think you're still there. They all think you're still there in the crash site. They didn't expect you to really survive.
I turn to Mistral and I just say, Balmaris guards
However, as you guys keep walking, even though you're in a magical area where the snow doesn't seem to touch you, you can still hear the howl of the blizzard winds all around you. However, making it through that wind, you sound like you hear what sounds like many small explosions of gunfire in the distance. One shot, then 2 shots, and then a whole many other shots, and then just silence.
That's just like where I live.
I mean, move.
No, we're at a lot of hunters. Let me make that clear. That's what I mean.
Oh! You know you live in America when your first thought is ghetto and not hunters.
I have a question, Evan. All the other people that didn't roll stealth checks, are they still with us?
Yeah, they're all still with you.
Just didn't have to roll.
The team left.
Because the guards were gone. I just waited for the opportunity.
Yeah, the guards left. You guys are fine.
Be like that. Really be like that.
All right.
It doesn't appear that there's any reason to kill anyone at this moment, so I say we focus on finding the girl.
All right. You guys make your way through the very long gardens. It takes a hot minute for you guys to actually walk from the gate to the entrance of the absolutely massive winter villa estate of the Balmaris family. This place, now that you're actually right up at the front door.
Of this place.
Anywho, this place is very large. You walk up there, and you see, like, right before you is the front door. To your left and right of you are basically many different windows with, like, vines covering the walls and such. How do you proceed? What do you guys decide to do?
May I do an investigation check?
On what exactly?
I don't know which way looks better.
That would be more perception. An investigation is if you're taking the time to examine a singular object. A perception check is if you're.
I did, and don't do an insight check on a door because then he's gonna mockingly say, "Yeah, it's definitely a door."
Yes.
Think about what you're going to do.
Again, Davina, you can take the reins.
Well, what was your perception check? What was your perception check, Polo?
I didn't take one.
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna do one.
No, I was gonna do an investigation check, but you told me that wouldn't mean anything.
You can still do a perception check.
Alright,
I
fine.
rolled perception. I rolled an 18.
Oh. Alright, well, I'll do one too. Oh, 22.
All right, there you go. So both of you actually scout out the area quite effectively. Yip takes to the skies and flies around the perimeter of the mansion itself. You did
20, by the way.
natural 20, nice. You did scout actually a couple open windows like on the upper floors of the estate. Polo, during your investigation, you walked around the entire perimeter. It does take a hot minute to basically do a full lap around this building, but you actually did discover a servant's entrance in the back.
Alright.
I
turned to the high elf. No. I was going to say, I turned to the high elf and say, I think this might be where you come in.
Izzy.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
my sister assumed that D&D wasn't going to take long, and
We just started!
I know. My sister's like, "Hey, are you done yet?" I'm like, "I said I was starting at 7. I wasn't finishing at 7."
Yeah.
It's like 3.5 to 4 hours, dude.
I know. So that's why I
ends until 10.
that's why I kicked McLean out to go hang out with them instead, so that I didn't feel bad. But I also still don't feel bad either way.
All right, so Izzy, apparently the spotlight is now on you. What are you going to do?
You know what? I was thinking of using my unseen servant to climb up to see what's in some of the windows to see if they see anything.
All right, so you cast your unseen servant. This invisible kind of heat haze presence you see before you floats before you for a moment, and then it just whips away from the group, scampers up the wall. It stays there for a few minutes. Then you see the heat haze presence scamper back down the wall and return to Izzy's side. Now, Izzy, it doesn't communicate with you in words, but the moment it reconnects with you... What did I say?
Izzy.
Izzy, I meant Mistral, sorry.
We're the same person.
Mistral, the moment it reconnects with you, so to speak, you then suddenly have these thoughts enter your head, and you are just given the knowledge of what the unseen servant has experienced. You could see that through that open window was a hallway. It didn't seem like there were many guards there, and just a couple servants that are just kind of cleaning the floors right now.
So, guys, there's some servants up there cleaning the floors.
Are there any guards?
Like a couple.
No, you didn't see any.
Like I didn't see anything. I can't say, but like, I'm assuming they're all gone because they're so invested in our shit.
Did you see Callan or Navarre?
You did not.
No, just some servants on the floor, just like cleaning, during servant things.
Who's got the best persuasion check?
That's a good
I
question.
have-
What is everyone's persuasion score?
Yeah, sorry.
Mine is 0.
I have a +2.
Plus 1.
Mistral, what is
2?
I have a 7. It's lucky number 7.
Arios,
Your
Satirax,
persuasion?
what are yours?
Persuasion's +2.
+3.
Mistral, I think you're up to talking to the servants, if you don't mind.
Great. Unseen servant, carry me up there.
The unseen servant cannot do that.
Yes, I can.
Why don't you take her up there, then?
All right.
So instead of the unseen servant, you are suddenly yeeted into the air by Yip.
And like it's like the anime moment where they jump up and they just like cling to the wall.
It's like the end of Advent Children where everybody's just throwing you up one by one.
Yeah, it's something like that, except that it's only just Yip who he flies you up, and then he just flings you through the open window, and you do a superhero landing on the carpet. The moment that you do, those two servants, both of which are Arakakwa, they both stop what they're doing and just stare at you, and then they just start backing away looking utterly terrified.
And I like get up and I like collect myself to make myself like seem very proper because I'm so proper. And I go, no, wait, don't worry. I was having some issues outside, and one of the people out there said that I could come in through this window, and I am just looking for a few friends of mine. I came to visit, and I'm just wondering if you could help me. I'm kind of lost, and this was the only way I could figure out how to get back in. The place is huge. The window was open. I thought I would just climb through. I know I sound crazy, but it's. I feel like I sound crazy. Oh my god! But I just need some help. Do you mind helping me real quick?
I just want to say it was about time we had a Mistral-centric episode.
Mistral, you're not gonna like this because unfortunately your plan had one little kink in it. Roll me deception instead of persuasion. Because you were lying!
Oh my gosh, I still have a +5. I have a +5.
Okay, alright. I have a +5 too, so I could have done this.
A +9.
Oh, fuck!
The rogue. We're obviously the rogue.
I got an 18. An 18.
Okay, so the two servants, They don't speak, but they just kind of look at each other for a moment. Just give you a very, like, still very hesitant bow before they slowly get back on their hands and knees and get back to their cleaning duties. And they don't even meet your eyes again.
Not even gonna help me. Got it. Can I call my unseen servant to come up here with me?
Can I ask a question? Can I have Yip do that? Okay, this might be like a really... Actually, no. I take it back. I look at Arios and I say, this is your time, friend.
Alright.
So what are you guys gonna do? You're all still up there. Mistral's the only one who made it inside the manor.
Yeet Arios into the window.
How high up is the window?
It's about like 25 to 30 feet. This is the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Arios
So actually,
into the window.
I can levitate up that far.
Or he can levitate.
Arios can actually levitate up to like 60 feet. So.
All right. Is that what you're gonna do?
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So you cast levitation and you just kind of slowly hover above the snow, like in awe of everyone, and you just daintily float through the window.
Just the PNG of Arios just like gets clicked and dragged.
Yeah, the PNG of Arios just gets drag and dropped from the snow, and you're just like, boop, into the.
Davina just watches and goes, huh, that's actually quite graceful. Good for you.
Now, at this time.
Meanwhile, Polo is just doing this and going, bards.
Meanwhile, then suddenly at this time, those 2 cleaning servants, seeing the new person, are frightened once again.
Oh, I first shocked, but I have my body turned so they can't see my face. But then I go, oh, Eris, there you are. I was wondering when you were gonna come up this way. I was just talking to these knights.
This is my boyfriend.
And
My name's
I was
Jeff.
telling them how we're looking for one of our friends we came to visit and how we got lost.
Yes, my lady. Let me just take care of this.
Milady.
And Arios kind of very, very slowly walks up to the Arakakwa and bows. And he goes, excuse me, we are actually looking for the master of the manor. Would you be able to point us in the right direction? I know this is odd to see, but we're looking for him. We're actually here visiting him.
We're just looking for the...
Carly, you don't know what they're talking about. You're still outside.
I just go like a shh.
All right. Now, this time, because you actually are asking them to help you with something, Arios, I want you to roll me a persuasion check.
It's also as if phrasing matters.
What was that?
30-19.
All right. The 2 children, at the mention of their master...
Children?
Yeah, they're Arakakwa children. They're slaves.
Oh, wow, okay, sorry.
At the mention of the
Not all
Balmarises...
slaves are children. Not all slaves.
At the mention of the Balmarises, they visibly tense up, and one of them actually just kind of shuffles over to you, and they just goes like, Master Callan and Navarth are in the study right now.
And Arios just goes down on a knee, and he actually just, again bows his head and says, thank you so much. He actually digs in his little thief pouch and pulls out a little gem. It doesn't look like much of anything, but it actually looks like a little sapphire, and gives it to him.
Okay. You're only just now seeing this because you are up close handing the gem to them. But the little Arakakra reaches out with its hands, and you see on its hands burn marks.
No.
It's time to beat up someone. It's time to throw
Okay.
hands.
I was just really, really, really trying not to let everything like flare out.
Is that a thing?
All right, so right now, Mistral and Arios are the only ones inside the manor. Everyone else, what are you doing? You're still outside in the not snow.
I'm gonna try to climb up to it, or I look at Yip and I go, Yip, throw me up there.
Okay, Yip. Are you gonna try and throw Davina up there?
So,
Let's do this thing. Let's
With all
go.
that armor on?
how much does Davina weigh?
I don't have a lot.
Yip, roll me a strength check.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't have a lot of armor on. I just have medium armor.
It doesn't matter, Carly. He's doing the strength check.
Alright. So you've kind of like cracks his neck like, alright, guess I'm doing this again. And he 18.
All right, successful. You are somehow able to lift Davina up in the air, and then you just
Let's go.
grabbing her arm, you fling her through the window.
This
Uh,
bitch empty. Yeet.
I like to think that you say that as you throw.
All right, who's next to...
Meanwhile, I look at Atarax and Eden and I'm like, so what are we going to do?
Atarax, you don't need help. You have wings.
Yeah, but I mean, are we climbing it through the window?
So I climb through the window, correct?
He flung you through the window. There's no climbing needed.
We're scaring these poor children. I just want to point that out.
Do I scare the Iroquois kids?
Probably.
You do kind of freak them out a bit, but then suddenly one of them actually looks up to you in some slight shock. Actually, no, wait, no, never mind. It won't work because this was too long ago.
Okay, thank God.
So they don't know who you are.
Wait, is there a room in this hallway, like a door?
There's a bunch of doors. It's a hallway.
Can I
I
open
would
up
know,
the door?
right? Because I've been here a lot of times.
Yes, Davina actually knows this manor quite well because she's been here many times before.
Davina, what is in this room? To my
How
left.
does Polo get up? Because I don't think.
Yeah, Atarax, I'm assuming, flew up by himself.
No, I was gonna wait and try and like help tag team throw Apollo up there.
Yeah. We just Yep, looks at Atarax. You get the legs, I get the arms.
Oh no.
Okay, so I would like both Atarax and Yip to roll strength checks.
Oh god.
Alright.
Polo, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm just sitting here, basically waiting.
No, Atarax has your arms and Yip has your legs. It's gonna be like that thing they do in summer camp where they just kind of like 1, 2. What did you both roll for strength?
15.
Yip, what
I
did
got a 5.
Oh,
Together that makes the 20.
Hang on. I took off my chainmail and stuff.
yeah, that helps with stealth. That helps with stealth, but these guys, Atarax, you were able to get the timing of when to let go of Polo's arms perfectly. Yip, on the other hand, his legs slipped out of your hands just a little too soon, and now this guy, instead of being flung gracefully through the window, just kind of ragdoll spins. He still somehow makes it through the window.
It's like Sharon Stone at the end of Catwoman, where she's just like
So Polo, you do make
she
it.
just wrote Yip went yippee.
Ragdoll spins. God, what a mood, Liz says.
I was gonna say, while this is going on, I'm gonna put my spiked armor back on.
Oh yeah, Eden, you're the last one.
I'm putting my armor
What?
back
Do I
on.
make it through the window?
Yeah, you do make it through the window. It's just not pretty.
It's not pretty.
But you don't suffer any damage. It's just you suffer shame.
Yeah.
Your pride is bruised.
How old are the kids?
They're like 10.
Okay.
Wait, so we still have Eden. So are we gonna?
Are you gonna do it again with Eden?
Second time the charm Atarax?
Whoa.
Him up there.
Oh, Minstrel's back. Okay.
All right, so Atarax and Yip, you both are doing the exact same thing to Eden. Both of you roll me strength checks.
I don't because I have the orb.
What?
I have the orb. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
maybe we don't throw them. Maybe we bring them up to the window.
Okay, learning your lesson from the first time, you gently carry her through the window, and then you two make it through the window yourself.
Thank you.
Why did you do that to me?
I also have
learned-
insurance. Technically.
And we also have the fox. Wow, maybe we. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't throw them earlier. That could have ended badly.
Liz is in the chat just in all caps going, I have so many concerns.
Oh, Liz,
Yeeting people through windows.
you too.
All right. So now the entire party has now made it inside the Balmaris Manor. I can finally play some different music.
Can I now investigate this room to my left?
All right, you
Ask me what it is. Just ask me what the room is.
What is the room in there and the left?
What is the room in there, Heaven? Because I would know what you said.
It's a supply closet.
There's a supply closet.
That's a supply closet.
That's the name of this episode.
Great.
Supply
Can I?
Closet.
The adventure of the supply
Oh,
closet.
we're looking for the slave quarters.
Oh,
Sorry,
all
the
right.
servants' quarters.
All right,
Don't know
Davina.
what the fuck it is.
Davina, roll me a history check.
Gosh darn it. Alright, here we go. Fuck, my rolls are awesome tonight.
What did you roll?
I got a 17.
All right. So
If I say it that.
all right, so Davina, you actually do remember, not perfectly though, you do kind of remember where the servants' quarters are. They're actually going to be on the other side of the building, still the same floor. You remember the exact hallway that they are in, but you don't quite remember precisely what room they were in.
Okay.
All right, so what do you all do?
I'm gonna try my very best to remember which room it's in.
All right, so you all are going to be moving as a group?
Hold on. Ariel's actually looks at the rest of them and actually looks back at the Arakakwa kids, and he kind of pulls down his leather breastplate and things and shows the kids that he's got all kinds of scars and everything, and lifts it back and goes, "I know your pain, but we need to know one more thing."
The two Arakakwa are already very wide-eyed, and they're not really shaking all that much anymore
Wait a
in
minute.
fear.
Can I help her out in her role and take off my cape and say I'm just like you and point at my burn mark?
You certainly can. You do that.
Okay.
You shift over some layers and pull over your cloak, and you expose your bare back where the brand mark is. The Arakakwa kids seeing that are now shocked. And they're just looking at you in just a mix of concern, awe, wonderment. So what are you doing?
So Arios is then going to ask the kids, we want to save a girl who is another Asimar who was just brought here.
I want to save all of you.
We want to save all of you. We need to know where they would have been held, because we want to make sure everybody gets out of here. We're gonna take care of your masters.
All right. All right, so Arios, roll me a persuasion check with advantage. Actually, you know what? No. Here's what I'm going to say here. because here's the thing. You would have gotten advantage when you showed your scars, but then Davina also decided to show her brand mark. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you double advantage. Roll your d20 3 times, and then you choose the higher of the 3 rolls.
I'm giving you super duper special advantage.
I'm sorry this took so long.
Okay.
I call this super advantage 3.
This is to go even further beyond advantage.
Oh, hold on. And then, so that was just in general roll, or was there anything?
We'll add your persuasion modifier.
Okay, so yes, 18, 21.
21. All right. The two. All right. The two children kind of look at each other. The two children just kind of look at each other, look at you, and they put their cleaning supplies away. One of them is already running over to the window just to kind of look around to see if it's safe to kind of fly out of there. The other one walks up to you, grasping your hand, and goes, whoa, did you tell them, like, the name of the person that you're looking for?
We're looking for Listaria.
Okay, the little child, the little bird child's eyes widen. He goes, "Oh, Maid Listaria. Navarth keeps her around him at all times. She's the head servant here."
Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Alright, Davina, where's the study?
We gotta beat him up.
Just crazy that I'm like, ugh.
The small child turns around and points down the hallway and goes, "Go down this hallway, go all the way downstairs. The study is the study is on the ground level. It's gonna be the giant set of brown double doors to your right."
Brown double door.
Are we also gonna need a boss key?
Check all the doors.
This is
Check
just a
all
Legends
the
of
doors
the
as you walk by.
So what do you guys?
This is just a Legends of.
So what do you guys do?
Cautiously head towards the brown double doors.
Is that what you guys are gonna do?
Sure.
All right. I would like every one of you to roll me stealth checks.
Now I put my.
All right.
Me with myself again.
It's advanced.
Yeah, Tony. You cannot see. I am John Cena, motherfucker. I am John motherfucking Cena.
You see me.
You cannot see me.
Okay, the bird somehow has erased himself from the timeline. People who have seen him before now just suddenly forgot about him.
I got a 17.
I am 4 parallel universe.
I am interfaced.
I got a 13.
I got a 17.
Did anyone roll below 10?
Oh.
All right, all of you are walking down the hallway. Eden has the unfortunate luck of stepping on the one creaky floor plank in the floor.
Come on, can't you tell? Like, they all look a little warped when they're creepy. But also creepy.
I love the jerk.
I look over at Mr. and I'm like, are you alright?
I love the thought that it's actually tile floor, but then the one wooden floorboard.
Oh no, this is a very nice, like, wooden floor. It's, like, polished. It's perfectly smooth. There's, like, no risk of splinters. This is like perfectly
Except for this one.
Except for this one, yeah. But other than that, it is like perfectly hand-carved mahogany right here.
That guy was fired.
Hand carver.
All right, you guys make it down the hallway, and you are just in this foyer area of the most gorgeous mansion ever. Like, there's a whole, like, what's the name of the artist who did, like, the Sistine Chapel ceiling?
Oh,
Michelangelo. Yeah, Michelangelo. You see what looks like a whole Michelangelo mural on the ceiling of the foyer of this mansion. It is glorious. It is well painted. It is gaudy.
You're gaudy.
Gaddy!
John Gotti?
Yeah.
Still so far, you do not see any guards around. The place just feels deserted.
What does the mural look like?
The mural?
Uriel?
Roll me a perception check, Davina. With advantage because you've been here before.
Oh, with advantage?
With advantage because you've lived here before.
God. I got a 9.
They seem to have retouched it up. It looks like, as far as you know, it's a completely different painting.
The mural.
What does it look like?
The mural is definitely a mural.
Well, I'm not gonna say unless someone else does a perception check for themselves.
I'll do a perception.
I'm just curious about it, guys. That's all.
If I just explain shit, what was the point of even rolling in the first place?
14.
All right, 14. So Eden, you actually recognize this painting from old books that you've read back in the day. What you are seeing is an entire mural that depicts the creation of the world. And you see before you...
Have that.
Yeah, of course he'd have that. You see before you, essentially, the creation myth of this land. You see, like, in the bottom layer, like, so many multitudes of animals and wildlife that are just like that right in front of you.
I was about to say.
You see on the bottom layer, in like what looks like a desecrated barren landscape, all manner of wildlife, and they are actually painted with white eyes and bearing fangs, and they are all looking upwards. In the middle layer, you see all of the many different races of civilization. You see depictions of elves, humans, Arakakwa, Aasimar, Tabaxi, lizard folk, dragonborn, like all races you can think of, just all collected as one.
Any stupid name you can think of.
Any stupid name you can think of. And then on the topmost layer, you see the pantheon that created your world. You see Nord, Crom, Varus, Eva, Taurus, and Menisa. And they're all just standing on a mountaintop overlooking the entire display before them.
Wait a minute. One of those gods is not right, because I don't think we know about that one.
Which one?
Manissa? Because isn't that what Sterling said?
No, Menisa is the goddess of travel. She's part of the pantheon of society.
I thought the same exact thing.
Okay.
May we ask the orb what it's feeling right now?
All right. Do me an insight check. Well, actually, no, wait, no. Just ask the orb.
Oh, okay.
Put your hand in my backpack.
Yeah. I notice the gods on there, and I turn to the orb and I say, "Are you feeling strange?"
The orb is terrified right now. Because here's the thing. You see all of the different depictions of the gods on this mural. You see Nord, who with his balding head that just seems to have a halo of light behind him, and he's in...
God has a balding head!
Bald.
My eyes! But this... Now, this is actually the first time you've seen a depiction of the Pantheon, like, in their forms before you. You kind of recognize Nord, the god of order and law. He is just fully decked out in the most, like, paladin armor that you can think of. Like, do any of you guys play Warhammer 40k? Do you at least know of Warhammer 40k?
I know of it.
Yes.
Okay, if you've seen the character, the Emperor of All Mankind, he looks like that. Like, just decked out in the most white gold Warhammer 40k armor that you can think of. This guy is built. You see Crom, the god of steel, and he is like every kind of stereotypical battle-hardened blacksmith that you can think of. Like, his arms are charred. He's got, like, hammers in both hands. You see Varus.
Does he look like he's an Echo Fighter?
And moving on.
See, I went for the Conan reference. I didn't go for the Smash reference.
You see Varus, the god of war, and he seems to be wearing battle armor that is much more spiky and violent looking than Nord's, and it looks like it is constantly on fire.
I have a question.
Yes, Davina.
Does Varys have a glass of wine?
No.
Okay.
Then you see...
I had to ask. It's a reference from a game that I'm obsessed with called The Arcana. Moving on. I apologize.
Then you see the goddess of peace, Eva, right next to Varys, and they're actually holding hands. While he holds up a battle axe, she's holding up what looks like a bouquet of roses and cherry blossoms. And she is just in the most beautiful white gown and with literally golden hair. Like, not just blonde hair, it looks like it's made of gold.
A white gown.
And then you see Taurus. He is he's an interesting sort. Out of all of the gods, he is the one that does not look quite human. He looks more like a satyr, and he is wearing a top hat and a bow tie, and he is carrying like what looks like a bag of gold over his head, and he just has like this cackling smile.
Does he have a cane?
No.
Then what's the point?
Does he have a monocle?
No, but he does have a top hat.
I was gonna say, didn't we call him Mr. Monopoly Man last time?
He is basically the Monopoly guy, yes.
Does he look like a bitch?
Does the white dress on it?
Moving on, and then
How dare you?
and then finally the goddess Menisa. And she looks like what appears to be a woman with bright sky blue hair, and she's dressed in what looks like a naval commander outfit. Like she's got like the long blue coat, she's got like the captain's hat. The closest way I could think of her is how many of you have watched Akame ga Kill?
English name.
There is no English name for it. It's just Akame ga Kill.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know the character S Death?
Yeah.
She's kind of dressed in that aesthetic, but it's more of a long coat look.
What about Juvia? Does she look like
Yeah,
Juvia?
No.
Sure, okay.
No, not Juvia. Death looks different. Also, you've got a type, Evan. Anyway.
Wait, I what?
He does have a type. Right.
I put a picture of the character in general.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had to look her up.
Yeah, she kind of looks like that, but way more conservative.
Damn,
Alright.
What are that?
Now, after you guys have basically gazed at the mural, you then look around, and you actually do see depictions of Taurus, the god of merchants, kind of etched in select places of the architecture. Like, his depiction is in the walls. You see tiny little statues of him, like, on the corners of railings and such. Like, of all of the gods that are shown, Taurus seems to have a slightly bigger appearance or presence in this manor.
I know why that is.
Okay. Can we go out of narrative for a second? I kind of have a weird theory.
Yes?
That Taurus is like the guy who like did all our clothes.
Oh, Gary!
Is Gary?
Gary, my man.
Oh, yeah. Taurus is scary.
Anyway.
I will just tell you this, no.
Okay.
But that's just a theory.
A game theory!
Oh my god.
Yes, Davina!
I know why.
No.
Okay.
For all, this just was always just normal to you. You've never questioned it.
Till now.
Well, yeah, now that you know that now that you know that at least Nord hates your guts. Yeah, but you've never really taken an account of the other gods of the Pantheon. You just really know that Nord seems to have it out for you. So then, you're in the...
Should've left the orb with the leader.
So, you guys are now in the manor. You're still in the foyer area. You can either choose to continue to the far hallway to see if you can find the slaves' quarters, or you can go downstairs. I am not done yet. I'm not done yet. Or you can decide to actually go downstairs and try to find the study. Now I'm done talking.
What would be the significance of finding the study?
That's where the Balmarises are right now.
Yes. So
Danger,
do
that's
we
like the
think
first
that she's
Balmaris
actually with him at the moment as much as he keeps him by
Let me tell you
or
something.
by the
If I
side?
know anything about Navarth is that he has a type.
Oh, he has
Like
a
to
type.
keep you by his side for.
But what if he
static
says go
reasons.
wash up? We could like coincidentally decide at the servants' quarters.
I mean, I kind of want to go
check the servants'
quarters
quarters
just to
first.
release the servants.
Personally, I think we should deal with the servants first because Lord knows they could be used as blackmail against us if we tried to attack the Balmaris first.
That is
That's a very
valid.
good.
That is a very good point.
Well, I was gonna say before we like,
Okay.
originally my plan was to help the like Arakoquan children like get out of that window, and then be like, go hide, and then we'll come get you.
That's a good idea.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna say that Ario
wanna
kind of stuck behind him and was like, "Hey, get out of here. It's not safe."
okay, so Arios quickly jogs back to the two Arakakwa kids, and they both just kind of look at him. One of them gives you just a quick little hug, and then they both just kind of flap out the window. They're not able to fly because it looks like their wings have been clipped. So they just kind of flutter. They just kind of flutter down slowly to the floor or of the snowy ground. Wait, it's not snow. It's just still in the estate. Wow, I'm not doing well tonight.
And at this point, as Arios gets back to the group, his hair is like in
Full Miyazaki anger.
The Miyazaki like,
Yujiro
I'm
Hanma.
angry.
Yeah, I love that trope with.
Yujiro Hanma.
I meant to post the clap hands, not the laughing emoji.
What'd you do?
Good job, Carly. Nobody. I posted something and she responded to my story with a laughing face.
Oh,
instead
no.
of like those yes clapping hands.
Okay, moving on. So you all decide to venture past the foyer into the opposing hallway. There's a lot of different doors in here. Davina, I want you to. Well, actually, I was just gonna ask Davina. Davina, I would like you to roll me another history check.
There's gonna be a lot of those tonight, aren't there? I got a 12.
You can't remember which door is the servants' quarters.
Fuck. Mistral, it is your time. Open up all the doors. She's gone.
And she bailed on you. Plot twist. Plot.
Resting on your laurels.
Still here.
Okay, Mistral, it's your time to shine.
I'm sorry, I just also got another text that apparently McLean, my sister, and their fiance got wet at the beach. It's just the lakefront, and now they're coming back. So I apologize if someone barges into my room soaking wet.
I'm good.
That's fine.
Anyway.
It's fine. Your chaotic self and open up all the doors.
Yes, I can open up all the doors!
So,
Am I supposed to roll something? I'm sorry.
well, do you have like a spell to open up doors?
Oh, I mean, give me a second. I'm sorry.
Don't you have prestidigitation?
Wait, I have a thing.
Oh, Eden has a thing.
Eden has a thing.
I do. I can use thaumaturgy that says you instantly cause unlocked doors or windows to fly open or shut.
Okay.
Eden and I just do it.
I do it in 30 feet.
All right, is that what you do?
Yes.
All right, you cast thaumaturgy. There are 6 doors in this hallway. 5 of them have opened. You basically see another closet, a necessary, what looks like a small little library, another bathroom, and then an actual, like, bathing room. Like, the first 2 were, like, lavatories, but then the 5th one was, like, an actual room with a tub in it, a rather large tub. The far door on the right did not open. It is locked.
I look at Atarax and I just say, if you please, the door down.
Would you kindly?
Wait,
Oh.
I also have lock picking set. I
I
have
want
these-
to take the door down. If we gonna fuck this shit up, we gonna fuck this shit up.
It'd be a little quiet.
Oh,
for
we
us.
might
Oh.
hear anybody
Fuck this shit,
inside.
let's start a
Fair.
riot.
You want to lock pick it?
I think she should
Yes.
try first.
Oh, right. All right. I actually don't quite know how lockpicking works. Give me a moment.
Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila is unfortunately gone.
Hey, Sheila.
Okay.
I love you.
Where do you have your lockpicking?
Lockpicking, I believe, is sleight of hand, but since she has a set, she gets advantage.
Okay.
I
So,
have to use 2, so that would be.
okay, so Arios, roll me a sleight of hand check with advantage. Oh, and one other thing. I would just like to point this out. Quick pause. I want you all to look at your character sheets. Have you noticed that some of your skills have filled in black dots around them?
Yeah.
If you are rolling a skill that has a filled in black dot, you get to also add your proficiency score to get an even higher roll.
Oh.
And not only that, but as an example with Arios and Sleight of Hand, since Sleight of Hand for him has not only a filled in circle, but a ring around that filled circle, his proficiency is doubled. Because that is what we call expertise.
Hold on. Evan. I think Yip was trying to say this, but because like mine, I remember when we were talking about why some of my my additional skills were so high is because I think they already added in to your bonus
On D&D,
here.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
So if you click on it, so like my performance is 10, if I click on that, that means it's adding on it, it tells you what it adds. Or no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
But
let me see.
it adds both the wisdom plus your proficiency or expertise.
I got it. Okay. All right, so you're good. So just roll me a sleight of hand check with advantage.
So I'm just gonna go with the first one because with all of that added together, it's 35.
You are somehow able to take your one lockpick, you just shove it in once, and the door flies open.
Actually, I didn't open it. I just looked at it and it opened for me. I'm Seto Kaiba. I can do that kind of thing.
God damn it. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I
Bridge.
look at Oreos and I just say, that was amazing.
All right. The door flies open, and you see before you a large room that is just rows upon rows of bunk beds. Not all of them are filled, but most of them are. And you see a bunch of little children. Well, not little. They're like in their double digits finally. And they're all...
A couple of them over 12.
like 2 of them are.
Remember me?
They don't seem to.
God.
But a lot of them... But here's the thing. They are all winged dragonborn, Arakakwa, Aasimar. Like, any race you can think of that has wings, they're here.
None of them remember me.
They don't seem to.
They're too young.
They probably would have been too young even if they were 12 or.
Okay.
I'm gonna beat this
And-
fucker.
The moment the door flies open, all of them just kind of shoot up in bed. Because it is nighttime right now. A lot of them don't work the night shift. And they all just kind of look at you just utterly terrified. But they're not moving. They don't know what to do. And they're just not talking.
Say, be okay. We're here to help.
Davina, roll me a persuasion check.
Alrighty. Oh shit! Hold on! What's my persuasion? I got a 19.
All right. So a lot of these child slaves, they just kind of look at you, and they look at everyone in your party, and they all kind of just look around, start mumbling to each other, and they all slowly start getting off of their bunk beds, and they all walk up to you. You take a quick head count. There's like 12 kids here.
Now, can I turn around because I'm no longer wearing my cape because I don't give a fuck? I just say, I'm like you.
Yeah, you do that. You show them the brand, and you all hear an audible gasp from everyone. And because not only are they looking at a former slave, they're looking at a slave who actually became a very awesome looking warrior.
Yeah.
As they do, one of the children, a young bronze dragonborn, walks up to you all and goes, "Who are you? What's going on?"
Your savior.
It's like Loki from Ragnarok.
We'll just say you're under new management. No. I just wanted to make a Mega Man graph.
No. He's kidding. He's totally kidding.
Not in character. I did not say that in character. I did not say that in character. Yip would never.
Yip said it in their head and just like did like a.
So, are you guys gonna tell them who you are?
Yeah.
We're Group D.
We're Group D.
You don't have
It's Davina. This is Arios. This wonderful man right here is Adarax. And this is Mistral. And then we have Yip, Eden, and Polo. And I like point to all of them.
And this object over here that you can't exactly see is DM, but we don't really talk about him.
Hey guys, I'm the god who created all of you.
That's terrible.
I almost want to try to.
Hold on. You come out from under the bed, and you're just like, and then you go.
Old Joe walks in like, and I'm Old Joe.
Oh, Joe, you're alive?
Nothing can kill me, motherfucker.
But I thought you said like last game he was okay. That's why I was asking.
He survived the crash, but then you heard the guard. But then you saw the guards go to the crash site, and you heard gunshots.
I literally screamed, "Oh, oh!"
Anyway.
I like to imagine Sterling shows up too. He's like, I'm here for some reason too. I don't know why.
So, the moment you all introduce yourselves, the slaves actually start approaching you closer with wonderment, and one of them goes, "Hey, you're one of the Greyblades. I've heard stories about you." And out comes this small little Aasimar boy who is just looking at you all in like wonderment. And then he walks up to Davina and goes, "Are you here to get us out?"
We're gonna try. I'm gonna do it.
I use my deception check to reassure them.
Why deception?
I don't know, because we don't know for sure if they're all gonna live.
No, we're gonna fight him and then do it.
Are you saying this knowing that you're possibly lying to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Polo. Of course, I think there's a % chance that all these kids are gonna end up dead. So.
Well, with that kind of logic, yeah, roll me deception.
Yeah, with that mentality, some of them are gonna die.
19.
All right, you reassure them, even though you are lying through your teeth due to pessimism, but the kids actually seem to buy it.
I believe you.
The kids do seem to buy it, and they all are starting to actually look a little bit happier.
You're welcome.
What can I say except
children?
So you found the slaves. What's next?
Okay.
Do we see? And I just say we're looking for Illustaria in particular. Do you know where she is?
The bronze dragonborn kid actually just kind of goes, oh, she's with the masters right now. She's constantly serving them tea while they go over their papers.
Figure.
Why'd you
Papers.
say it so ominous like that?
No, child. Do you know what kind of papers?
What are we talking about here?
I don't
This
know.
girl seems very interested.
I don't. None of us can read.
Oh, that's fine. No worries.
Oh, ow! You just hurt me more.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm a DM?
I mean,
Bum, bum, bum.
hey, keep the kink to your anniversary till after your anniversary dinner.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, you like that, you slut? You want to read Hooked on Phonics?
He's gonna whip up that baton that he was threatening us with every
I
session.
hate it. Wait, what'd you say, Izzy?
I said he's gonna whip out that baton he keeps threatening the party with every session.
Baby, tonight I'm calling you Mavis Beacon.
Good lord. Oh no, we killed it.
Alright.
Guys, we lost the DM. Okay.
I never thought I would hear that name ever again.
Anarchy!
Guys, we are going to just grab all the children and run out, and we don't have to roll for it because
No, roll for
it's
anything.
just gonna work.
We've killed God! We've killed God!
Oh man. Okay, so we got to get back on topic here. What are you guys doing with all these kids?
We gotta get them out of here. We gotta, or put them somewhere where they wouldn't think to find them right away to hurt them.
I think that we should keep them here for right now. Now we should come and get them after because it's the safest place for them.
But like, is there another room that like we could put them in so that we know where they are, but they don't?
Yeah, there's all of these other rooms in the hallway that you flashed the doors open to.
Where do you guys think would be the best place for them?
So what? We had like 2 bathrooms.
Two
Here's
bathrooms.
the problem, and I want to point this out. We don't have a means to get these children out of here. Our ship is destroyed.
We'll figure that out
Just
later.
fix
We
it.
don't have a means to get ourselves out of here.
I look at no. I look at Polo and I just say, oh, they have a ton of airships. We can just take one of those.
Guys, you want to say hi to my sister?
Hi everyone.
Hi, sister. I hear you're sopping wet. Please dry
Oh,
off.
this is H.
Here you so-
Bye, guys.
No, you don't have any swords.
Get out of her room. You're getting the floor all wet.
Okay, so guys, what is your plan?
Look at Polo and I just say,
We
oh,
have
they
a plan.
ton of airships. We can just take one of those.
Then I guess that's our plan. We get to the airships.
Should we get them to the airship?
That's up to you. Do you want to try and sneak them out, or do you want to take care of the Balmarises right now?
I think we should take care of the
I want to
Balmaris
at least
first.
Can we still hide them in another room and then take care of them?
That's what I was thinking.
Love
of.
Discord
Okay.
crashing.
Love this one crashing.
So guys, we need some
Yep,
consensus here.
So we're putting them in another room. Eden, you go.
I was gonna say, why don't we ask the kids if they know a place that they can hide that is better? Because they
Good
know
idea.
this place a little bit more than we do, besides Davina, but Davina hasn't been here in a while.
Ask
It's been
away.
about 3 years for Davina.
Yeah, so fuzzy things might happen.
All right. Upon asking that, all of the children just kind of talk with each other for a moment, and then the little bronze dragonborn looks up at you and goes, "We'll head outside. We'll go through the servants' entrance. We'll hide among the hedges."
There's 2 Arakaka children
Uh,
that are
I
also...
go, I go to that child and I say, how big is the entrance? Big enough to fit an adult?
The servants' entrance?
Yeah, the servant's entrance.
Yeah, it's like a normal door.
Okay,
Well,
I
maybe it
look
could have
over,
been a kiddie door, because they're all children and I hate it.
I look over at Atarax. I look over at Atarax and I say, I think you should go with them.
I agree. I think that you would be the best guard for them.
We've got a lot of Dragonborn
Yeah,
here.
but-
They'll trust you.
I was gonna say he's a cleric. We might need him, guys.
Yeah,
You might
he's like
be-
our healer. He is our healer.
I mean, I have healing words.
But-
Yeah.
But like, okay.
Yeah, but he also has lay on hands and.
Very
healer.
true. Okay, Arios, I think Arios been having their hand up for a while.
So I can blind the guards. I can do the fog, and I don't really have as many attack spells as everybody else does.
All right.
Well,
There
I
are
don't know
no
what-
guards.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
E-
I
even
think that
still-
Arya should go with the kid.
Fine. Ario should go with the children.
Because, and I know I might be stepping on touchy ground here, but I think they're gonna trust you based on your background that we don't know much about yet.
You can at least calm the children. Evening.
Well, my train of
I
thought was,
can my flute. I have a lyre too. I can
Well,
help to calm
Yeah,
them.
you seem like a good babysitter.
I was gonna suggest you going because I only have like one spell that really hurts and then another spell that like blinds people, and that's everyone. So that's not a good idea in reality. So I was gonna go with them and have the fox like kind of make sure that we're safe, like
Okay.
scout,
Oh, that
so that
you guys both no, because then I'd be splitting it up too much.
yeah, and that's why it was
I was
like
gonna say one because the Balmarises are pretty dang strong. At least what it sounds
They're
like.
pretty strong.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing?
I have sisters
So I
and
guess-
not a whole lot else.
That means that Eden's the only one protecting the orb, though.
yeah, and that's another
I can
reason
take-
of like
Or
That's very true.
it would be better to like not have this orb in the fight.
So
Right.
yeah, so
I-
you
I
are you
think
saying you
that
two go with the
or-
children?
Well, I
Just
think
one
it's better with one
Oh.
True.
because that
Can
way
we
it's not a huge mass of people.
can we trust Arios to watch the orb?
I was gonna say with how
Jesus.
I'm trying to protect it, okay?
you are,
Okay.
but you also gotta remember character-wise, you are not
Yeah,
trustworthy
I
right
know.
now.
We
But I'm getting a lot
promise
of gold with you guys, so it's probably the best place for me to stay right now because I'm making money.
That's a valid point.
It is valid.
We trust you to take care of the kids and the orb.
I want to do an inside check on Arios.
I agree.
All right, so Atarax, you inside check Arios.
7.
You have no clue.
Oh, no, I have 21.
The Arios is an Arios.
Oh, I rolled a 21.
21
My
total.
inside.
A 21.
Oh, you
Er-
rolled the 21.
I heard. Arios, are you trustworthy?
I'm telling the truth. I have nowhere else to go. I'm making money with these guys. Why do I want to leave without them?
Yeah, Arios is being legit.
Valid point.
Trusted.
Still, okay, I'll give him the orb, but like, I'm having the fox
Reluctant.
be like, keep an eye on him. If he does anything stupid, fight him. And I'm blatantly saying that. Blatantly saying that in front of
Like
him.
that.
All right.
Ooh.
So Arios takes the orb and
I feel
he
offended
starts
for
to
Arios.
So Arios takes the orb and he starts to guide the children down the hall. What's the rest of you doing?
Well, Axel's going too.
Axel's going as well, yes. What's the rest of you doing?
We gotta go, go deal with
We're gonna
the...
go to the study and fuck some shit up.
Yeah. We
Okay.
wanna really fuck someone's life over.
You all are going in the right direction. Or in the same direction, so you're all still moving as a party. Nothing got split.
Remember where the study is. Right?
Well, this is awkward. I already said our goodbyes. This is awkward.
So you guys are still pretty much technically a group because you're all heading in the same direction anyway. The kids guide you down the stairs onto the ground level of the manor. It's now once they're there, the children all decide to run ahead and scamper off, and you can actually see them like go around a corner and you hear a door open. And this one tiny little Arakakwa girl just kind of peeks her head back around the corner and just kind of waves at you and then just ducks away. And then you hear a door shut.
Okay. Let's go kill my husband.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink.
Oh yeah. This is actually a perfect time. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, and we will come back.
Alrighty. run into you, and I was
know.
so angry.
I know.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
so
Carly, do you remember the year that you went to Wizard World and the only reason why I showed up was because you were going, and then I ended up sneaking into Wizard World because Deadpool distracted the security guard?
And we ended up spending the entire day together.
Yes, and I was supposed to meet up with my friend at the airport. That was also the other reason I was going to Wizard World and not actually going inside. But then as soon as I got inside, I was like, I shouldn't leave until I had a good time. So I'm sorry, friend. I'm not coming to the airport.
You know what? I really wish.
Didn't we both get permissions?
Yes, I have her somewhere.
Oh, yeah, because that was when I actually connected with you because you were talking about your little Chibi Thumbelina and you were like, look at her little titties. And I was like, we're gonna be fast friends.
okay, so we're back online. I'm cutting all chatter short here.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that. I love Sukesha Ray and her art.
Oh my god. That's fantastic.
So, we're all back from the break. All of the kids were able to quickly scamper out of the Balmaris villa. Now it's just you guys. And why isn't my music playing? Oh, it's not playing.
Because your DM said no.
All right. So, it's now just you guys in the villa. What are you doing?
Polo, you're muted, by the way.
Who's ready to stomp a bitch? I mean,
Yeah.
something that's not as aggressive statement.
We are gonna go and we're gonna kill my husband. I can say it because, I feel.
Do we know if he's here?
Yeah, some of the slaves said that they're currently in the study now, going over
Okay,
papers.
alright.
Okay, guys, so are we gonna surprise them? Are we gonna do like a surprise attack and like get them off guard?
Just open up the doors and say, honey, I'm home.
Say, Mom, holy fuck!
I feel like surprise, motherfucker.
I think surprise some fries, motherfucker.
So what do you guys do?
I know where the study is, correct?
Do me a perception check.
Okay. I assumed that we were in front of the doors.
What's my perception? Perception. I got a 13.
They're right to your left.
Oh,
Hey,
so
guys,
you
they're right there.
were right.
You can probably hear us talking.
Can I press my ear up, my big elf ear up against the door to see if I hear anything?
You certainly can. Go for it. You don't hear anything. It's actually pretty quiet in there.
Ah, they're just sipping that tea.
Are
right
they all gonna
before
be
we
dead
download.
when we walk in there for some reason?
You don't know unless you open the door.
Okay, so who would like to open the door? Okay, so we're gonna have Davina in the center, opening up the door. We're gonna have Polo and Atarax on either side, and then me, Yith, and Eden from the back, ready and willing. Everybody agree on that?
Fine.
Just jump into the water.
We make like this pyramid. We make a pyramid. If you look at us from the top, we make like a pyramid. 1, 2, and 3.
Like that.
Wait, let me put back on my armor. I just...
You were carrying that with you the
You were
entire
carrying?
time? I thought you
What was the point if you took it off?
I was the one that put it on.
Oh.
No, I took off my stuff so I could stealth better.
Yeah, and then I done fucked up.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Leah, are you okay, honey?
No, she's
Because
not.
you're like...
I know, Leah. She's not okay.
So what are you guys doing?
I just said we're in a pyramid. Davina's gonna open up the door.
Is that what you do?
Open up the fucking door and let's go. I just burst open the door.
Alright, guess we're doing this.
All right, the door is open, and you see a very beautiful study with the walls lined with books. and a large wooden meeting table in the center of the room. At the far end of the room, you actually see above the fireplace a slightly bit larger than his other depictions, but a statue of what was his name?
Monopoly Man.
Of Taurus, the god of the economy.
Moneybags is the name of the monopoly.
His worshippers multiply whenever there's a pandemic. It's weird.
Topical.
Yeah.
Politics on this.
His statue, a small statue of Taurus is mantled above, or is sitting on the mantle of the fireplace. And then before the fireplace itself, you see Callan Balmaris and Navarth Balmaris. They both seem to have been looking at some papers near the fireplace, but the moment you bust the door open, they both stopped what they were talking, and they both just kind of turned their heads in some...
Sorry.
What's a 3-letter word for total dick? Do you? Hey, that works. And as they do, they both look at you in shock, and then it morphs into just sheer annoyance. Navarth takes a step forward while Callan still seems to be not even paying you any attention. He's still going over papers right now. Navarth slowly approaches you. He's still on the other end of the very long wooden table. And he just goes, "You know, if you wanted to bring guests over, you always could have just asked."
You know, never one to ask.
Well, maybe I didn't pay enough attention to you. But then again, you kind of lost the worth of paying attention to anyway.
Okay, so Davina, are you going to crack the skull open first, or am I?
What's happening?
What?
What are you saying?
Nothing?
No, I didn't even hear you. What did you say?
Carly, did you hear what I said?
I did, but I'm trying to process what you just said to me because my blood is boiling.
Yip looks very mad at him. Yip is not happy with him.
I hold my hand up. Navarth. I made that very clear, but we're not here for you.
Then what other reason are you possibly here for?
Arya, and I call to what I'm assuming is the Asimar girl that's like at the table.
Yes, you do see like an actual teenager-aged Asimar girl in a very conservative-looking maid outfit with her.
I want to make that clear.
I want to make that clear.
I like how you had to like emphasize that it was.
I was gonna say technically it's 17 in Illinois.
Conservative.
Yeah, I have to. She just suddenly starts, like, she kind of perks up while, like, mid-pouring tea in the cups.
Here for her.
The moment that you do, Navarth just kind of looks between you, and then at Illustaria, then just kind of looks back at you and just goes, "You want her? Fine,
Yes,
fine, you can have her. I have 9 others."
Do you
That's
now?
what you think.
We kind of took care of that already.
At that moment...
Don't tell him that!
Yeah, it's too late. She said it. At that moment, the other figure at the fireplace just goes, "Ah. So, I take it that you have..." Callan Balmaris, played by Alan Rickman. I'm sorry, that was literally the first voice that came to mind.
Well, now you're stuck with it.
So I apologize.
Are you going to use that voice?
For-
Always.
I see. You have cost me quite an investment. And he finally turns around to face you. He actually does kind of look like the spitting image of his son, Navarth, except he's obviously just slightly older looking. And he has, like, a Kenneth Branagh style, like, mustache and goatee, and he's, like, a whole head taller than Navarth. We're talking, like, Draco and Lucius Malfoy levels of family, like, resemblance here.
So, small white boy versus tall white boy?
Yes. And they're high elves.
No offense to white boys, it's just white boy.
I mean, with Kenneth Branagh, I know we've got Gilderoy Lockhart here too, but
Yeah. You see Callan just kind of like look at the papers for a moment, gently sets them on the table. Then he just kind of steps back for a moment, looks at his son. Well, this simply won't do. You have cost me a very slight investment, but it's somewhat based on principle now. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
yay! I don't have it.
14.
I got 13.
17! 47!
What?
I'm kidding.
9B.
Polo, what did you roll?
Oh no!
Polo, I feel like you should put all of your dice in dice jail.
I was doing okay this episode, actually.
At that moment.
I was one away. I was one away from 26.
Leah, what did you roll, hun?
Lee's not with us, remember?
Oh, right.
No, Lee is with you.
Aria's with
The kids ran away from Leah. And then they exited the servants' entrance. Yes, that's what I explained happened.
Okay. I thought
You guys never split the party because you all were actually still heading in the same direction. That's what I literally said before the break.
Derp.
Oh, good. The kids are gonna die now. Wonderful.
Leah, roll.
No, they're fine, they're fine.
They know, but
My
they know
unseen
the hiding
servant is
spot's better
probably
than
roaming.
I was gonna say they know the hiding spots better than anyone, though. Like if you really think about it.
Yes, and so did the Balmaris!
No, they don't. They're not kids. Like
They
they're
ain't
outside.
midgets.
So Leah, what did you roll?
Please don't tell me.
19.
1. Oh, thank God. I was gonna say, I guess those gifts are gonna have to come a lot faster than
The
that.
moment, right when he finished his sentence, Callan Balmaris waves his hand suddenly at you and launches a ball of flame right in your general area. Those of you who rolled below a 10, you suffer 6 points of fire damage.
Wait a minute, but I'm a tiefling.
Yeah, you only get 3.
Okay, alright.
If you're a tiefling, you're resistant to fire damage, so you only take half that.
I
Okay.
didn't hit, so I'm just reminding Polo, you're a tiefling. Fire don't hurt that much.
Yeah.
Upon launching that attack, Navarth then steps forward, and you just see his hands just kind of crackle with purple energy, and he just has this sick smile as the illusion on his face finally fades away now that he just doesn't care anymore. And you see, like, he has a Two-Face level burn scar, like just over this part of his face right here. It's like a Zuko scar.
Yeah, I remember that when we were dancing.
And he just simply smiles. I am going to be so happy to finally return the favor to you. Roll initiative.
How you could even
All of
try.
us?
Oh, I got a natural 20!
Well, I guess you're going first.
Hey, 15. With, I guess nothing.
I also got a 15.
Okay, keep your rolls to yourself until I ask for them.
47, 9, 8, 32, 48, 9, 25, 35, 6, 7, 12, 11, 10, 4, 3, 1, 2, 9, 8, 40.
Okay, I need you to stop. I'm trying to focus. All right, give me just a moment.
I feel like Mr. L's gonna get bonus disadvantage at some point.
It's funny because as you said stop, I was in my head, I'm like, I should stop. And then you said stop, and I was like, oh, I guess I was right.
All right, 25 to 20. What was your total roll, Davina?
22.
What?
22.
And Yip, what was yours?
22.
Okay.
Let's go in height order. Tallest to shortest.
20 to 15. Yip, what was your roll? I mean, Polo, what was your roll?
15.
Mistral, what was yours?
15.
And Arios, what was yours?
16.
Why don't we just all attack them at once? It seems like it would be a lot easier.
They can't throw if we all throw a fireball.
15 to 10.
15 to 10. 15 to 10.
Atarax, what did you roll?
14.
What?
15.
What?
15.
1-4.
1-4, thank you.
14, okay.
14. You need to, like, disconnect and reconnect the internet because you're, like, cutting out.
Quick kick in the router.
Did I miss anyone?
I got a 6.
You got a 6.
But I was going to say, before he does anything, can I cast darkness around, Davina's ex-husband, soon-to-be ex-husband.
Axe-husband.
Yeah, I was gonna say ex-husband.
Unfortunately, you're too late. Initiative has already been, like, called. You can do it when your turn arrives.
I was trying to do that before initiative was called. So it's okay, though.
All right. The first one to go is Davina.
I am. Ooh, what do I want to do? I should have thought this.
Okay, guys, I ask that when it's not your turn, try to plan ahead what you're going to do. Let's try to go through this fight.
I'm gonna take out my great axe, and I'm gonna swing it at him.
Okay, you know what to do.
Run up. Run up and swing.
Okay.
Do the barbarian thing and run up and swing.
I got an 11.
That does not hit.
Figured.
You swing your sword, and he actually is able to just simply backstep out of the way. His hands are like behind his back. He does it so effortlessly.
Hockey motherfucker.
It's like our honeymoon night.
Next up is Yip. What are you doing? Yip, you're coming in very quiet. What's going? Yeah, like way quieter than before.
That's weird because I have.
I mean, I can hear him.
Is that better?
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Okay. So, how far away is Navareth?
He's on the other side of the table, which is like 15 feet. So you can easily make the movement there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my spear and, like, start flying at him and take a couple attacks with my spear. Okay,
roll to attack.
That is a +7, 19 and a 24.
All right. You go to swing. However, the moment your sword, you see that your spear, he's not even moving. Like, he has just this absolutely calm face. And the moment your spear makes contact, you hear a cling, and your sword effortlessly just bounces off of his shoulder. And you see for a moment just a brief flash of a small layer of light above the spot where you hit.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Okay.
He has received...
Okay.
So even though you hit him, he has not received any damage.
Alright, I'm going to... take my bonus action and do a... I'm not going to do flurry blows, I'm going to do a singular unarmed strike. So, I'm going to try and, like, pivot into a kick onto him. So... that is a 21.
You swing and you do an epic roundhouse kick, and you get him right on the side of the head, and you didn't even phase him. You feel what looks like a small spark of light at the point of impact, and you see just that bright little shimmer of light at the spot where his face and your foot made contact. He doesn't even move. He just kind of smirks at you after that kick.
Wait, I have a question. So my unarmed strikes are magic for the purposes of overcoming resistance and immunity. Does that affect that outcome?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
You'll
yes
have.
and no? Okay.
He doesn't receive any damage, but as the fight goes on, you may notice something.
Okay. Okay. I am going to. Since I hit melee attack, I'm gonna spend a key point. I need him to still make a constitution save.
All right. What's the DC?
14.
That is a 9 he made.
Okay, so he is stunned.
So yeah, he definitely did feel the impact, but he still looks like he didn't technically receive any damage, but he is just kind of like hunched over like, oh, that was pretty good. All right.
I'm a cheat blocker.
And wait, who did you attack? Who did you attack, Navarth or Callan?
Navarth is the husband, right?
Yes, Navarth. Callan is the father-in-law.
Yeah, I'm gonna team up with Davina against Navarth, and then I'm going to.
I didn't get the high five.
I'm gonna spend another key point to you. Oh wait, I already used my button. Never mind. I won't spend a second key point. I'm going to end my turn.
Oh right. Next up is Arios. What are you doing?
Down 2 trap cards.
So I am actually gonna use Bardic Inspiration on Davina. And then, since I actually have the orb, I am going to levitate into the air to get as far away from them as, like, Navarth and his father as possible.
All right.
What do I roll for that? What do I roll for Bardic Inspiration?
So with Bardic Inspiration...
You don't roll yet.
For 10 minutes, you get another D6 added onto your
anything and everything.
inspiration.
But you can only use it once a turn.
I wanted to know for
Once per turn, yeah. Yes.
Like once you use it, you've used it, but you get it.
For that
It lasts for
turn.
10 minutes.
Okay.
For
So
10 minutes,
So, Arios, you use your action to give Bardic Inspiration, and then you use your movement to go up high mid-air to keep the orb out of the way. You still have your bonus action. What are you going to do?
So with my bonus action, just to be safe, I'm pulling out my daggers.
Okay, you pull out your daggers. All right. Next up is Polo. What are you doing?
Well, I thought it would be fun for dramatic irony if I aimed right towards the soon-to-be ex-husband with the weapon that his wife gave me.
Fuck yeah!
All right.
I'm going to
have
use
advantage.
I'm going to use the great sword of vengeance. Ah, shit. That doesn't count.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
All right,
You
roll
have
to
advantage,
attack.
by the way, because he is stunned.
Okay. I have advantage. All right.
Yes.
And I always forget how to do this. Do I add +4 to my roll, or what do I do?
What does it say?
Hit DC +4, or no. Okay, the damage, or no, I have to roll the D20 first, right?
Yeah, to see if you even hit him.
Okay. All right. Oh shit.
What is it?
Roll that again. Advantage.
Oh, that's right. I get to roll again. And do I add the hit DC for that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, then that would be a 6. So.
Glad I gave him advantage.
Yeah, Navarth just, again, effortlessly, like, sides...
Hold on.
18.
18? All right, that actually does hit. You swing your sword. You swing your sword, and you bring it down square on Navarth's head. Again, he doesn't move. That barrier is, like, still there, and your sword just harmlessly just kind of clinks off of his skull.
Nice.
Do you
hit him and do some fucking damage?
do you do anything else?
Somebody try for the dad.
All right.
Try
Well,
do your extra attack.
obviously his armor is a problem right now. So can I do a firebolt, or is that?
Yeah, you can definitely try to do that.
Okay. Maybe I can melt his fucking armor. Anyway.
Well, it's like magical armor. It's like a barrier around his body.
Okay.
Oh, barrier.
Well, then I'm probably not going to be very useful.
You don't know that. You don't know what I have planned.
Hey, that is a 22.
Hell yeah.
Your firebolt sparks in your hands, and you're able to get him, like, right in the shoulder, and you do see that shimmer of the barrier just kind of blink for a moment, and then it just kind of reforms. And he still looks as calm as ever. All right. Next up is Mistral. What are you doing?
Give him pie.
Mistral.
Yeah, I was just reading over, making sure I wasn't harming anybody else in the party. Oh, I'm gonna use. I can use this against both of them. I am going to blind both of them.
All right. Go ahead and blind him. All right. They are both blinded, but they both still seem strangely calm about the situation here. Do you do anything else?
I am going to give Bardic Inspiration for somebody as my bonus action. I'm going to give that to... You know what? I'm going to give it to Edith, just in case they need help with anything. And then I am going to get into a ready position to move out of the way if another fireball comes in my direction.
All right. Next up is Atarax. What are you doing?
Atarax. Jordan, we still can't hear you.
He muted himself.
You hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Kitty.
So,
Sorry, guys.
I'm going to cast Spell Magic at Navarre.
Oh.
Level.
What level?
And if the spell is at 3rd level, then it's instantaneous. If it's above 3rd level, I have to roll to beat it.
Okay. You are going to have to roll to beat it this time. Is there a DC, or is it just whoever rolls highest?
I think it says, ability check using my spellcasting ability. The DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
So what are we rolling?
Dispel magic.
Yep, do you mind
you have to
muting
tell
me?
me. Oh yes, sorry.
Sorry, unless you had something to say.
Hang on, let me put it up for Jordan.
So what am I rolling? A D20? Like, what's going on?
My DC to beat is 10 plus your spell's level.
Yeah, Atarax is rolling. What level spell is Navarth's thing that he's trying to dispel?
Are you dispelling the
And
barrier?
it's 10 plus... Oh, barrier!
Is it the barrier you're dispelling?
Yes, the magical shield around him.
It's 6th level.
Jesus.
I have to beat
Alright,
a
so
DC of
16.
Oh, don't be doing that to the chair. Sorry.
Oh, is it a straight roll, or do I add my proficiency bonus, or my spellcasting bonus?
I think it would be a spell casting bonus.
Which is plus... My spell attack is plus 7, or my modifier is plus 4.
So plus 4.
So are you gonna? So then, what's the total?
Maybe plus 7?
I rolled a 19 straight. Then, depending on if I need my modifier, that'd be a 23.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. You see the barrier slowly start to shimmer and then just blink around Navarth, and for the first time, you actually see him look a little bit nervous. That was your action, however. Are you gonna do anything else?
Bonus action, I'm gonna summon my spiritual weapon. My turn.
All right. Well, now it's Navarth's turn. Navarth, he just kind of regains his composure for a moment, and he looks at all of you. You kind of encircled him. And then he just looks to Davina and goes, "You will regret making such connections." And then he is going to cast Chain Lightning at 6th level. Which basically means that he is going to be attacking you, Davina. And so, Davina, you need to make a dexterity saving throw of 14.
We went from 0 to anime real quick. I just want to say that.
Palpatine over here.
I got a 17.
All right. He was able to shoot a lightning bolt right at you, but you are able to backflip out of the way just in time. Which is good, because if that attack hit, you would have gotten 26 points of damage. Not just you, but everyone who decided to attack Navarth this round.
Don't like
Can I just look at him and say, surely you can do better than that, can't you, sweetheart?
I see.
Navarth then takes this action to actually back away from the party up to the fireplace, and he's like right at the fireplace beneath the statue of Taurus. Next up.
Opportunity.
Next up. Oh yeah, you all get attacks of opportunity on him because he's backing away from you.
It's me.
All of us.
Isn't he
What?
Isn't he still blind?
He kind of stumbles a bit. Alright, everybody gets to attack him with advantage.
I'm gonna attempt to punch him in the face.
Roll to attack.
I was gonna say, do I get it? Sorry, I haven't attacked yet.
No, not yet. You're still on the other side of the table.
I thought.
22.
And then
Wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. Nope, I'm wrong because I have to.
Polo, you too. You also get an opportunity attack.
Okay, not at the second though.
no, he backed away from you. He's out of your.
No, you do.
Oh.
Yeah. That is a 25.
Got an 18.
What are we rolling for? Sorry.
You're rolling to attack of opportunity him.
Okay. Do I add anything?
It's your basic
It'd
attack
be your
roll.
Great sword. Your sword.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So, I guess. I
What-
got a dirty 22, or am I adding the +4 of my greatsword?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I did too.
Okay. All of you who rolled 20 and above were able to land a hit.
Yay!
I don't like the fact that you said that. I don't like his DC. Or I don't like his AC.
So, you all land a hit. Roll damage.
I didn't.
You sound so angry
Oh.
about that.
Oh, that's max damage, baby. That is 12 damage.
Okay, yeah, you get him square in the gut, and it works because he doesn't have his barrier up.
I rolled a 10.
All right.
Izzy had a point. Is Navarre still blind?
This is a D6, right?
No, that's a D4.
Okay.
A D6 looks like a normal cube die.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Who has advantage
still-
right now? We all
There-
have advantage, or is
Oh
this-
wait, you
No
also-
one has advantage. Blindness only gives the attacker who is blinded
Wait,
disadvantage.
I would like to say, actually, we couldn't have attacked him because he couldn't have moved away because he's done.
Oh,
Minus that
he's
he's
stunned. He can't move.
There are so many elements at once.
Rolling back everything, no attacks of opportunity because he never even moved.
Yeah, and I could see Izzy being like, I'm so confused. I need help, and that's why I mentioned something.
Next up is Eden. What's your turn?
Eden, you have bardic inspiration.
I know
Don't
I do.
forget.
So before I do this, I want to do my first attack with my longbow and attack the father-in-law.
Okay, roll to attack.
Okay. Probably not, so I got an 8.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Your arrow, he just kind of, your arrow comes right at him. He just kind of flicks his hand and the arrow just kind of whooshes away.
Okay, Navarre and the dad are, right at the table, correct?
Yeah, they're both, still at the far end of the table, but Navarre is on, the left side and Callan is on the right side.
Is that within 60 feet of me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to cast darkness around, so within them, and it's a 15-foot sphere. And it's pretty much going to make sure that they can't see us and we can't see them. And no creatures with dark vision cannot see through it because it's magical.
All right.
And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna try and signal to little Asmar girl to be hurry, come this way, fast. So that is my turn.
Gotta go fast.
All right, so that's your turn. So to Callan and Navarre, they are both in a shroud of darkness where they can't really see anything. However, Callan still doesn't look all that worried. He just merely goes to where he just merely glances to where he remembers his son is standing, and he just goes, "Really, son, you must know to hold yourself to a better standard." And he uses his bonus action to reinstate his barrier.
You bastard.
Now,
He's a support sorcerer.
now
Support
it's his
spirit.
time to attack. And he just simply says, "Must I do everything that you cannot do?" And he raises his hand. And, he can still attack. It's just going to be at disadvantage because it's in a darkened area, right?
Yep.
Okay. He's going to attack. he's basically going to be aiming at his own son now that the barrier is back up, and he's going to be casting Fireball.
All right.
There's a story there.
All right.
So yeah, Fireball. All of you who are standing around Navarth, all of you who decided to attack Navarth this turn, you all need to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
up
because
Hey, I'm sorry, Evan. What did you want us to roll?
A dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So this lasts up to 10 minutes unless I get hit because it is a concentration spell.
All right.
Ooh, I passed that shit. That
Yeah,
is a
17.
25. That's a 25, baby.
What did everyone else roll?
13.
I got a
I rolled
17.
a 13.
Atarax, what did you roll?
14.
All right. Unfortunately, everyone was able to dodge out of the way, but somehow Navarth was able to just shift his foot in one direction, and he tripped Polo up. So Polo was the one who still got hit by the fireball.
It's fine. I'm a tiefling.
You
He
take...
still takes half damage.
Yeah, he still takes half damage. So Polo, you take 16 points of fire damage.
Wait,
Literally, all of us just take half damage.
what about my
All of
armor?
us just... No, that's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Alright.
We all just take half damage, so we all take 16?
No, everyone who got the DC save were able to get out of the way in time. Polo,
Oh, it's pseudo
Do I
fireball.
take 16 or do I take 8?
you take 16. The full damage was 32.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's fireball, baby. That's fireball for you. That's fireball.
That's the power of fireball, baby.
All right, we are back at the top of the round. Davina, it is your turn.
It is going to be
run
difficult
over
for you
to
to attack.
Polo, and I immediately cast Healing Hand.
Okay, so how much is Polo healed for?
Let me check that. He restores him with 6 points.
Okay, Polo, you take 6 hit points back. So that was...
And then for my second attack, because I forgot, now that I'm 6th level, I get a second attack. I
And you
would
also
like
get a damage.
Okay, people were talking over each other. Carly is gonna rage.
And I'm gonna
We
go
raging, baby.
straight for Navarth, and I am going to try and physically slice his pretty face with my axe.
All right, roll to attack.
I think
You have both disadvantage and advantage.
So just a straight roll.
You just have a straight roll.
Just a straight roll?
Yeah, because I accidentally gave you disadvantage because of my darkness spell. However, he is stunned, so he.
Carly,
Don't I have bardic inspiration?
that's not advantage. That's just some extra points to your roll.
Oh.
So that's
Okay.
it.
That's just an extra D6.
Sorry. It was a thing.
Until next session, I'm assigning you all homework to study your character sheets.
I got 15.
I know my character.
That attack, your aim was true and you were able to swing your sword at him. However, his barrier was put back up by Daddy. So your axe just glances right off of his chest, and he just kind of looks
For his face.
his face. Well, same result. So he just again looks at you with a smirk. Next up is Yip.
The prick.
Okay.
Head hurts, guys.
Okay. 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 Suddenly this darkness throws a whole lot of
No.
Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. But
I know.
I'm just thinking, like,
That's why I was trying to do it before initiative was rolled, so it could be like, hey.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, guys.
Wait, can't you like get rid of that spell?
I have to be hit. It's a concentration spell.
Well, you can drop you can choose to drop concentration.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'd like to do a prepared action.
Oh.
So, my condition is if Navarth does anything to like target, like if he say he were to do chain lightning again and targets Davina, Yip gets in front of it and it then redirects the target to be Yip. Now, like he dives in front to have the target of anything that's targeting another player be targeting him.
I will allow that to happen.
Is
You
that-
just got to be mindful that if he's gonna be using fireball or chain lightning, it's still going to hit Davina again in the first place, because that's what a chain of lightning
Right.
does.
But like with chain lightning, like instead of her making, I'd make the dex save. But like fireball, of course, that's just gonna be an AoE.
Be everyone,
but, like,
yeah.
Chain lightning.
Okay, then in that case,
so
yes.
And then I'm going to spend a key point for my spend a key point to do patient defense, which allows me to take dodge as a bonus action.
All
So
right.
essentially, if he tries to do a melee attack, or if he does an attack, he gets disadvantage on me as well.
All right. All right.
Evan,
Yeah.
when it becomes Polo's turn, I'm gonna drop darkness.
Okay.
Just know.
Next.
idea. That was a really, really smart idea.
Next.
No, that's fine, guys.
Next up. Next up is Arios. What are you doing?
So, Arios is actually, just in case, I know most of their stuff is going to be, you know, spells and things, but Arios is going to do Blade Ward. So he traces a sigil, it's one action. It's only going to last one round, but if anything comes at him slashing, what is it? Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. It cuts that. There's a resistance against them. So, and then yeah, again he's gonna kind of just move away from everything because he does still have the orb. So he's gonna just move while he's levitating. He just moves back.
All right. Then if that's the case, next up is Polo's turn.
Then darkness drops.
The whole darkness spell drops.
Okay. So I just want to make it clear: is he has the armor again, right?
He does have the barrier once again.
All right. So.
And you're making just a normal roll, because.
Well, okay. What I'll do is, I guess I'll give as good as I've gotten. So maybe I'll try a fireball.
All right, you try firebolt once again. Roll to attack, because yeah, you have to roll for that one.
Yeah, that's 12.
Yeah, unfortunately, you just kind of miss it. He just kind of moves his head out of the way.
All right, then I guess for my bonus action, I'm just gonna do a second.
What?
I'm gonna do a second wind.
Okay. Next up is Mistral.
Sup, guys. Thanks for letting me come out here to defeat this mofo. I am curious, Mr. DM. Can I see if he's wearing, from the distance that I am, can I see if he has anything metal on him? Is he wearing anything like even a pendant or a button?
He does have some jewelry on him, but he's not wearing any armor. They're both wearing just like formal wear.
Great. So like things that may be close to his neck region.
Yes.
Great.
Touching his skin, maybe.
So I
know
am
what you're getting
going to cast heat metal, which any manufactured metal object, whether he is so if he's wearing it, he takes. Okay, just give me a second to actually read this because I'm trying to paraphrase, and that's a horrible idea because I don't know how to do that. So, you cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast a spell. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again.
All right. Yeah, that definitely does work. He just stares at you all cockily, but then he's like, and he is like struggling to try to get the necklace off, but he's having trouble even trying to grab it because he's burning his hands as well. So yeah, he's going to suffer. How much does he suffer?
So roll 2d8.
2d8. That is 9 points of damage.
Damn.
Yeah, that kind of messed him up, but he still has like a whole lot of fight left in him. Next up is Atarax. What are you doing?
You're muted again.
Jordan!
I'm letting him know because we've been having an echo. I don't know who it is.
Mistral quickly runs to the restroom.
So,
Battle.
who just took the burning damage? Was that Navarre?
That was Navarth.
Alright, I'm going to cast a cantrip called, Toll the Dead.
What is it called?
Toll the Dead.
Wisdom, a 15 DC Wisdom saving throw. And,
What was the DC?
hear ominous bells. DC is 15, Wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
He rolled a 5.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so he takes, 2d12 necrotic damage.
I'm sorry, 2D what?
2d12.
So roll the d12.
There, I'm a little...
Ooh. Yeah, that definitely
So,
got him all
11.
right. He suffers 13
11
points of
points.
damage.
Oh, 13?
13 points of damage. One of the die was a 1 and the other was a 12.
Damn.
I'm gonna play those odds.
All right.
Then, I can attack my spiritual weapon as well at Navarre.
All right, so you're just going to whack him?
I'll it's a force weapon, so I'll fit through him because it's ethereal. So, does a 19 hit?
Yeah. That does just hit.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
1d8 plus 4, 7 hit points of damage.
Okay, 7 hit points of damage. The barrier does reduce it to 4, though. But it still is pretty effective.
Fine.
All right, Navarth just kind of clutches his chest for a moment, realizing oh shit, you have a melee-looking weapon that can actually penetrate my defenses. Well, that being said, though, it is now Navarth's turn. Let's see.
No, we can skip him. It's fine.
Yeah.
What wants you here?
Navarth just kind of looks up at you all, and he just growls, and he goes you are all becoming an annoyance. And then he just takes his fingers and snaps his fingers. And then you just hear, just very faintly, and then slowly rising in volume,
No.
and he is going to cast Insect Plague.
I don't like that.
It is gonna be
Not very-
It is gonna be cast in the area that he is standing in. So yes?
I just want to make. When am I supposed to roll for second wind?
You just take it.
You just do it.
Oh shit.
It just works.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Roll your 1d10 and then plus your 6.
okay.
All right.
Whenever you use it.
So all of the sudden, a massive swarm of black locusts just materialize in the air, and they all just start swarming around Navarth, which also counts for the people that are actively attacking him right now. Whoever was attacking Navarth this round, I need you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy.
Who did I attack?
Oh no. I failed.
16.
Got a
Either way.
15.
Either way, I got an 18, so I think I'm fine.
Got a 15.
What? Atarax, what'd you say?
1-3.
1-3. All right, so for the people that got below 14, the locust seems to really like you, and they're just biting literally all over your body. You all are going to take 8 points of piercing damage.
Who is?
Everyone who rolled below 14 that was attacking Navarth this round.
Okay.
Ow, that hurt me. I don't like that.
Oh. Aww. When Yip is sad, we're all sad.
Aww.
If you say so.
Let me just check one last thing here. All right, and that is going to be his turn. Next up is Eden. What are you doing?
The only thing that I can do is attack, and I'm gonna attack the father-in-law, because fuck him in particular right now.
It's Hobbs subscribed!
Yeah.
Woo, dude, you're awesome!
Substat dubs.
I'm gonna drop, like, put the longbow back and, like, go after him with my longsword.
Okay, so you spend your bonus action to switch weapons, your movement to move towards the father, and you do attack him, but he does have that barrier. However, Eden, roll me a perception check.
Okay, well, 9 to attack, so that won't do shit. Perception?
Well, then never mind. If the attack never connected, then never mind.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Damn.
And next
Well,
up...
one more, hang on!
Oh.
That is 14? Does 14 hit?
14 does not hit.
Damn it. Never mind then. Okay, this is going industrial. Fuck this one.
It is now Callan's turn, and he just kind of snarls at all of you, and he just says, like, perhaps we can actually work something out. And he is going to cast Mass Suggestion on all of you.
Oh no.
Don't like that.
I need you all to make Wisdom saving throws.
Oh, God.
Okay. I think that's a bit better.
I got a 5.
That 20.
I got a 19!
Wait, are we rolling with advantage? What's going on
No,
here?
let's roll.
No, it's a
Okay.
saving throw.
Alright. I got
Where
a
does his
4.
advantage keep coming from? I'm so confused.
It's a wisdom, right, Evan?
It's a Wisdom saving throw, yes. All right. To everyone who rolled below 14, you find your consciousness being compelled by Callan's words, and all you just hear is, why don't you just lower your weapons? And you are all compelled to drop your weapons and get on your knees.
Drop your weapons!
And so I said to him, I'm not your mother last night! And they took exception to that.
Arios is in the air. Does he just like drop to the ground?
You just drop your dagger and it just kind of clings to the floor. You are still holding the orb, though.
Okay, good. He's in the bag.
All right, and then he is going to use his bonus action. He turns around to the fireplace, and he's actually looking at the statue, and he just goes, "Make them pay what is owed to you." and he takes the papers that were on the table and he flings them into the fire. And then you see the eyes of the statue glow bright green. Now, I need everyone to roll dexterity saving throws. The ones who fell prey to Massac's suggestion roll with disadvantage.
Oh, come on.
And what's this roll again? Sorry.
Okay.
A dexterity saving throw. But if you failed the mass suggestion check, you roll with disadvantage.
That's funny. I rolled a 13 both times.
I got a
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right. And everyone... So who rolled above 10?
I got a 24.
So everyone is able to will yourselves back into reality and jump out of the way just as this statue shoots green... I'm getting to you. I'm getting to you.
Come on, Carly. Wait your turn.
No, sorry, guys. Stressed.
So Polo and Davina, since you were the ones who failed your check, the statue is able to hit you with bright beams of green energy, and you take 10 points of necrotic damage.
Wait. Because I'm enraged. Does that do anything? Let me check.
Not for saving checks, only attacks.
Fuck, alright.
But here's the thing now. What you suffered is necrotic damage. So not only did you take 10 points of damage, your maximum health is now permanently lowered by 10.
Really?
That's what necrotic does.
How do I do that?
What?
I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
How do I take down my max HP down to...
You can't. You just gotta remember it. Just take a look at your max total and just minus 10.
Okay.
Write it down.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Alright, I'm down to 10 hit points, by the way, guys. But then again, I never rolled...
I gave you the 6.
I never rolled my second win.
You don't have to roll it. It just happens.
Well, it's a 1d10, so he rolls
But it says once per short rest, you can use a bonus action to regain 1d10 plus 6
Oh,
HP.
then just roll it. Just roll it.
I gave you 6 back. Polo?
Yeah, that was your healing words. Now he's using his own healing ability.
Yeah, Spiders have a lovely thing of
Okay, well, I've got 11 back, so.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, we are now back at the top of the round. Davina, it is your turn.
Well, I'd be pissed now, and I am gonna cast Nordic Shroud.
All right.
And they each need to a charisma saving throw. DC 8. Yeah, that has to beat a DC of 8. Plus their proficiency bonus. And plus their charisma modifier.
So what's the DC?
Yeah, I'm reading it. Well, I just want to make sure I read it right. Yeah. So, okay, you have to do that, Evan.
Yeah.
You have to do a DC 8. And then it's plus your proficiency and your charisma modifier.
What's the DC?
Everybody within 10 feet of me needs to do that.
Yeah, but what is the DC? What number do I have to beat?
8. Said that.
And then you said so many other numbers after that. Am I adding that to a total?
You
Like,
have
what
to
am I...
do a DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your proficiency fighting. That's your charisma modifier.
So it's...
11.
Okay, 11. That's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at your character sheet as well, Davina, and it says charisma saving throw DC 11. because there's bread.
Wait, so what would it be then? Ben. Sorry, y'all.
Oh wow, we're getting a lot of subscribers.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Welcome
Mistral,
to the madness.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm sending a Snapchat to somebody while you guys are figuring this out.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Ben, what would it be then, babe?
I have
Hold
to
on.
the
Once
top.
per long rest as an action, you can transform, charging all within 10 feet to make a charisma saving throw. The DC is 11.
Yes.
This
Oh,
lasts
I
for...
totally misread that. Sorry.
Yeah, where were all those other numbers coming from?
Yeah.
From when I actually clicked on it, I apologize.
So the DC is 11. You have to be 11.
Okay.
Otherwise-
I'm sorry, y'all.
But it says calls all within 10 feet. So all of us would have to do it if we're in 10 feet. So
Okay, so... Navarth failed his roll.
Oh, he loses 6 points of necrotic damage.
Alright. 6 points...
Please, motherfucker.
Alright. 6 points of necrotic damage. The father, however, succeeded his roll.
do you want people within 10 feet her to do it too?
What?
It says with it causing all within 10 feet. So I mean even us as members of the
So are you guys all within 10 feet of me?
Actually, all of you strangely don't feel any fear coming from this, and you can actually look above you, and you see the green orb glowing.
Well shit.
Yeah.
Yay, but shit.
Yeah.
So Navarre has to take 6 points of necrotic damage.
I already did that.
Okay. And then, for my attack, when he's freaked out, I am gonna take my great axe and I am gonna swing the shit at him.
Alright, roll to attack.
Okay. Plus 2. I got 22.
That definitely does hit. Your axe is able to connect right with the side of his head. It still just glanced off of his barrier, though, which is still there, might I add. However, in that area, you actually did see the barrier kind of flicker a bit.
I still roll for damage.
No, he received no damage.
Huh?
Barrier!
Okay.
Don't worry, we will get there. I like looking in the eye. We will get there.
Yeah, Mistral, okay, Mistral, since you are looking right at her and you're focused on, well, no, the green orb. Never mind. Next up, Yip, what are you doing?
Alright. So, when Navarre's dad put his barrier back up, could I tell that it was coming from the father and not Navarre himself?
Because they had the dark
Even though it was in darkness?
Yeah, back then, yeah, around that time, the dark cloud was still up, so no one could tell anything.
I've read.
Got it. Well, seeing that we are... Okay. Here's the plan. I'm just gonna attack Navarre. Screw it. 2 spears, and then bonus action. Unarmed strike.
All right.
So that's a 20, 25, and 18.
All right. The 20 that you pointed out. You hit him once, and it glances off the barrier. You see it flicker. The second hit, you hit the barrier, and this time you actually see the barrier break.
Yes.
Because you were finally able to overpower the barrier. If you just hit the barrier enough, you can overpower it. but then that third hit, the one that is an 18, because now that he doesn't have that barrier, his AC did go down a little bit. So yeah, that third and final hit, that is what finally connects with his face. Roll damage.
Keep it thematic. Alright, 5 damage. Min damage.
Alright. Next up is Arios. What are you doing?
So, since Daddy-O did the whole whatever, Arios has to go back down now to grab his daggers, so that's the movement.
Okay, you spend a movement to go down, but now you're on the ground.
Yeah, I know, damn it. So now, bonus, he's gonna pick up the daggers, and then I'm actually gonna use sneak attack to throw, because the daggers can be thrown at Navarre. And that is, so I can also deal an extra 3d6 on the damage. So let me roll to actually throw it at him and attack. And that was a 19.
To attack?
Yep.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and then, alright, d6. And since it was a sneak attack, that's 15 damage.
Yeah, that hits. He is not looking good now. All right. Next up is Polo. What are you doing?
Well, perhaps I'll do what I planned to do at the beginning fight and use his wife's sword against him.
All right.
Do it.
Yeah, but don't you want to find kill?
It's her
Yeah,
weapon.
but if we know the title, then he can give it to Davina.
All right. So roll to attack.
That's a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
Alright, so it's 2d6. You know what? I'm just going to click this because it's easier. That is an 11.
All right. So Polo, you take your sword. So for Navarth, how do you want to do this?
Pass the blade to Davina.
Miss
Pass the blade to
Davina,
Davina.
would you like to do the honors?
Yes, I would. And I step down and I just look at Navarre and I say, any last words you want to say to me before I end your life?
Navarth just kind of looks up at you, and his face is all just bloodied and such. But then he just kind of gives a little cocky grin. You should watch out, my treasure.
And I, for everything that you've ever done to hurt me, and I snap his neck.
Ooh. Oh.
All right. So you just grab his head and you just go. His head is now like at a right angle, and he just flops to the ground.
I use that with your wife's sword.
However,
I just go down to his corpse and go, I did that with your wife's sword.
at that moment, Callan looks at you all in absolute terror, but he doesn't make a sound. So then all he does is he just shakily reaches into his pocket, a very large pocket might I add, and pulls out a whole bag of gold. And he throws it in the fire.
Okay.
The eyes of the statue shine brilliantly green once again.
Oh, great.
Yeah, if you killed his son before Callan, he has a whole reaction set up for that.
We need to go after Dad.
Yeah, did you forget that Dad was here? You all focused on Navarth.
Trying to go after Dad.
Yeah, Eden was the only smart one here. So I need all of you to roll another dexterity saving throw. None of you have disadvantage this time because none of you have mass suggestion on you.
Mass Natural 20.
20.
I got a 19 this time.
17.
So 21.
18.
Okay, Atarax, what did you roll?
Well, a natural 20, so 24.
You,
I guess I got a 19 actually. Sorry.
you all succeed. You all are easily able to dodge out of the.
What's the DC? What's the DC?
The DC was 15.
I failed.
Oh.
I got 10.
All right, Yip, you were the only one who was able to not get out of the way because you miscalculated exactly where the beam was going to go. So you are going to take.
Old eyes.
You take 9 points of necrotic damage, and your HP is permanently reduced by 9.
All right. Yes.
I just have a logistical question.
What up?
Because Dad tried to attack me but didn't damage me, would I still be able to do Hellish Rebuke as like a, oh hey, because technically it says a creature that damaged you, but I don't know if you would allow that or.
He did not damage you. He wasn't able to connect an attack.
Got it. Okay, never mind then.
All right. So Navarth is out of the game. Next up is Mistral. What are you doing?
Is this man wearing any metal?
We're gonna have to go through this again.
Yeah, actually he is.
Wonderful.
Great. So I look at him sternly, and I go, "You're not gonna like this." And I cast heat metal on his disgusting body.
You see the metal on his necklace begin to glow, but then he just smiles and goes, "You would not like it either." And then he snaps his fingers and casts Counterspell.
Motherfucker.
Counterspell.
Oh no!
Counterspell.
But I don't really have
He
any.
taps 2 islands.
If you're-
the other bard do the counterspell if they have it.
If you're able to counterspell his counterspell, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Does anyone else have counterspell?
I was gonna say we have another bard. No. Damn it. I know someone
like-
who can. However,
But
she's not here.
But I don't have anything metal on me that's touching my body.
No,
It just
it doesn't
negates the
it doesn't reflect the spell on you. It just cancels it.
Oh, that's just
Counterspell.
stupid. Okay, fine. Then I decide. You know what I do? You know what I do to really throw him off as my little, I guess, bonus action of bardic inspiration, because I can do that again. And I hand it off to, you know what? I'm gonna hand it off to Polo. And I do a shindig. I take my drum and go, fuck you, we're gonna kill you. Fuck you, we're gonna kill you. You won't see it coming, but it's coming, so maybe you'll see it, but you won't.
All right, Polo, take your inspiration.
Okay. Do I roll anything?
Not yet. You will on your turn.
Okay.
All right, next up is Atarax. What are you doing?
First, I will cast Guiding Bolt at level 1.
All right.
Yeah, first level. 23 to hit.
That hits. The bolt
Fantastic.
the bolt goes straight for him, but it does bounce off his barrier.
It doesn't do any damage.
Does not do any damage. It hits, but it did nothing.
We'll also attack him with the spiritual weapon.
All right, that will cause a little bit of damage.
18 to hit.
That does not hit.
Ah, rats. Still in my turn.
Next up is Eden.
I'm getting cookies.
You know what? I'm gonna use my bonus action to take out the rapier.
Oh.
attack this motherfucker with the longsword first. Because that's on his dominant hand.
All right.
And as a fun fact, I'm sorry to distract, but they are Mistral cookies.
Lucky
Aww.
you. 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Just barely.
Ooh, okay. And then the D8 is what again? Okay, right. You know what? For that attack, it's 5 points of damage. And then with the rapier...
He has his barrier. He doesn't receive damage.
Oh, well. 24 to hit, sorry.
It does hit, and you do see his barrier flicker a bit, but it's still there.
Damn it!
Next up is Callan. And you see him slowly rise up into the air with his magic, and he just goes, "You will pay dearly for taking away my dynasty." And he waves his hand, and he casts Melf's minute meteors. He's gonna fling asteroids at you.
They really do be like that.
I need you now. I need you all to make. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I move, do I get an attack of opportunity?
You can certainly try, but he is.
I know he's still gonna do it, but yeah.
Still gonna do it to us. Tell him.
15 to hit. Probably
Does
not.
no.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, each of you need to make dexterity saving throws. The DC is 14.
I got 17.
I make it. Same.
Nope.
I got a 6.
So Davina and Arios, you get hit for.
I get hit.
I got a 16.
Okay, so whoever rolled below 14, you each take 12 points of fire damage.
What's that?
Yeah.
6.
6?
6.
I'm still good.
All right.
Shit.
All right. We are now back at the top of the round. Next up is Davina.
Okay, I'm gonna use something new. I'm gonna do frenzy attack, which means that I get now 3 attacks because I can do 1 as my bonus action.
Ooh.
So I am going to try and literally just punch Callan in the face using my unarmed strike.
Okay, roll to attack.
I still get Bardic Inspiration because that's good for 10 rounds. Oh, it's 24.
Yeah, that hits. You smack him. He receives no damage, but his barrier is flickering.
And then for my second attack, I'm going to take my great axe and look at him and just say, "Does this look familiar?" And then I'm just gonna swing it at him.
All right, you are roll to attack that one.
17.
That does not hit.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my third attack.
Hi, Pudgy.
Let me do math really quickly. I apologize. 29.
I'm sorry?
29.
29?
29?
29.
Yeah, that hits. You are able to hit him one last time. He doesn't receive any damage, but that barrier has finally shattered. Next up is Yip.
I think we all know what time it is. Okay, so I'm gonna make 2 spear attacks.
All right.
That's a nat 20.
Oh!
And a 19.
Oh! Yeah, Yeah, and the barrier's gone down, so now his his AC is a little lower.
Okay. So, and then I'm gonna spend a point for Flurry of Blows.
Oh!
And, there are my key points. And so, that misses. And a dirty 20.
Alright, so that's second...
3 of them that hit.
Alright, calculate damage.
Alright,
Billion damage.
Yeah, no kidding. So that is 8, 16, plus 9 is 25, and then 9 is 34.
34 points of damage?
Yes.
Yeah, you JoJo Bizarre Adventure this guy, and he is already, like, bloodied, like, everywhere.
Okay, I would...
Yeah, what the fuck?
So how far away is he from the fire?
He's right in front of it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right in front of it because he was making offerings to it.
Okay, I need to make him to make a DC 14 strength save.
Oh.
I know what you're gonna do.
I think I do too.
6.
So Yip kind of like with that last one, he kind of like puts his palm on his chest and just like, puts like his knuckles on his chest and does like the 1-inch death punch and pushes him into the fire.
Oh! He falls into the fire pit just absolutely screaming. He is still somehow able to like pull himself out, but he has suffered. Oh man. That is 20 points of burning damage right there.
So I just did 54 points of damage in a turn.
Oh my god. Okay.
Good news, you're safe.
Arios, it is your turn.
I will be back. I gotta take the dog out.
The fact that we still have to keep going.
Wait, no. Yip, come back. Just for this.
Back.
Yip's out.
Yeah, Yip's out.
What did he have to do?
Take the dog out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, why did you need him?
Is it how you want to do this?
Actually, no.
No.
But something else cool was gonna happen, but I wanted him to be here.
Wait.
Was it because I asked, did he get out of the fire?
Mistral, what's that on your head?
The light.
I have those. I love them.
What are those?
It's red too, right? Ooh, white. Red, yes. Green.
So what's the eye color or whatever the color that keeps shining?
Green.
Green.
Passed it.
Green.
I am the statue thing on the wall.
Thanks, I hate it.
Fuck that thing. Fuck that
I
thing.
am here to haunt your dreams, Davina.
I'm your husband now, Nancy.
I cannot move from this position, but
Okay, yep, you're back. All right.
I am back.
Arios, come back.
Do your thing.
Do your thing. It's your turn.
All right. So Arios is actually gonna use his action move to dash up to Callan, and then he is going to use his unarmed strike to and I love this. He's gonna do a head bash.
Yeah.
So the roll to actually do the attack was 19.
Yeah, that hits.
And then and 6 damage.
Yeah, I totally lied. Arios, how do you want to do this?
I knew it was a how do you undo this thing.
Davina, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to. And I go up to him and I take his great axe and I say,
What happens?
every one of the children that you have ever branded with that godforsaken mark, this is for them. And I take the great axe and I chop his head off.
You chop his head clean off, and it goes flying off his body back in the fireplace.
Viva la revolution!
I want to know
Alright.
how many people are freaking out in Twitch chat right now.
None. They're twitching out, getting subscriptions. We only have 3 watchers right now.
They're like, damn, we need to subscribe. This shit, yeah.
So, the battle is ended. Callan lays beheaded and just Darth Vader level of burns all over his body. And his
Where's
and
the
it,
little girl?
she's like cowering behind a chair in the far corner of the
I
room.
thought she ran out.
Oh yeah, she ran out. Never mind.
Yeah, because Eden
Okay.
had the cloud of darkness.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, come.
All right. So, and Navarth lays with like a snapped neck just on the floor. It is quiet.
Happy right now.
Can I loot the bodies, please?
Yeah, go right ahead.
You want me to roll for like investigation or anything?
No, they're dead. They're not gonna try and resist anything. Navarth actually carries on his person 500 gold in a bag right there.
Y'all, are we splitting?
Whereas Callan had nothing on him because everything he had he threw in the fire for the statue.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, whatever. He's stupid. It's fine.
You're stupid.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's split it up.
I assume Davina is like over the by the fireplace, just going like
Yeah,
she just
trying
did
to-
it. And so like I just walk up and I put my hand on the shoulder. I'm like, you know what? I'm so proud. I don't think I ever could stand up to a dude like that, but you did. You fucking cut his head off and snapped his neck. I'm
Just
so
like,
proud.
I just roll up and his tongue, and I just start laughing.
So the battle is won. What do you guys do now?
Well,
Check out the children.
go ahead, Polo.
I say do a sweep of the building.
All right. So
If
you,
we missed any
so
kids.
all right. So you guys walk out to leave. The doors slam in your face.
Damn it.
Fuck!
I knew it. I knew it.
Ataract. I think
The
you're out. I
goddamn
think you're at Ataract.
fireplace.
At that moment, hold on. At that moment, Eden, Arios, you sense that there is a feeling of absolute dread coming from the orb right now. And all of you hear in your heads, danger, danger, he's here. You see the eyes of the statue of Taurus glow bright green, and what looks like a green vapor flow out of its eyes. And it just kind of flies around the room for a moment, and then just flies right into the mouth of Navarth. Nothing happens for a moment, and then you just hear as his neck slowly turns back into place. And almost like a marionette, he starts like to slowly lurch back up to his feet. But then not only that, you see his legs actually begin to change as his pants turn to shreds. And you see what used to be just bare elven legs actually start to turn into red-haired hooves.
Oh no.
His back is turned to you, and as he starts to straighten up, his once beautifully nice golden blonde hair becomes more shaggy and shortens to spiky red hair. and then you just hear a, and then just pulling out of his chest, you see a top hat. And then he just turns to you all and just goes, "Well, my, that was quite the battle indeed. Well, I must say you are most impressive at all. Oh, please, I can see by your shocked faces that you're quite really not knowing what the situation is here. Oh, please, I do apologize. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Taurus." And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
I knew it. I knew
I knew it. I said, I don't like it. I don't like that statue. I don't like that he threw gold in there. I didn't like that his body went in there.
So thanks for watching, everyone, on Twitch or on YouTube, wherever that may be. We'll see you next session.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.